In the NBA tonight, in a half an hour, Boston, winners of 3 straight, played Atlanta. For the Celtics, Jaylen Brown returns after an Achilles injury, but Jason Tatum out for rest. He is the player of the week in the East. In the West, Denver's Nikola Jokic won it. The Bulls wave guard Jaden Ivey. He'd been shut down with a knee injury. Chicago's lost 3 straight. They play in an hour. At San Antonio, Spurs have won 8 in a row. Detroit has one of the late-night games. At Oklahoma City, the Pistons' Jalen Duren out with a knee injury. Cade Cunningham still out. Lakers have the late game hosting Washington 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Lakers' Luka Doncic is suspended for this game after getting his 16th technical of the season. The league's board approved the sale of the Portland Trail Blazers. The transaction is due to close this week. Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl in 2029. Daytime baseball, the Royals won their home opener 3-1 over the Twins. I'm Steve DeSager.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Password.
Ack, a dack, dack, a ack.
That's right. With that password, you now have full access to this very fine radio program for the next 3 hours.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
Thank you, LeBron.
Not 5.
That's right. No matter how you listen in, Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com, the iHeartRadio app, Sirius XM Channel 83.
Wow!
And now, live on YouTube.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it.
Say my name.
Rob Parker.
Say his name.
Kelvin Washington.
We are indeed the Odd Couple here on Fox Sports Radio on a Magic City Monday. You'll need our phone number because we are, without question, the most listener-friendly national sports talk radio show on the planet.
The Jason Smith Show.
On the planet.
Richie Cavino.
Madler.
On the planet.
Ben Maller.
There you go. At least when people are still awake. Sorry about that, Ben. All right, write it down. Committed to memory. 877-99 on Fox. For you laymen out there, 877-996-6369. Can't figure out the letters and numbers, so there you go right there. And if you hear feedback on the line when you call, then it's your own fault. It means only one thing.
You forgot to turn down the radio.
And if you call in here and have a problem with what we say, tough, because...
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem, turn off your station.
With all that said, always remember...
Sweetie Beanie. We both back up in here on a Magic City Monday. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Big show. Let me welcome in my co-host. He is...
Kelvin
Washington.
Yes. What up, man?
What's happening?
How you been? We both been gone. I was gone. You was gone. We was gone. How you been?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing good, man. I had a good time out in New York, not New York City. Was out in, you know about it, Syracuse. New house there, the School of Journalism there. Shout out to Mark Lodato, their dean. Spectrum was there. You know, I work for Spectrum News 1. We were there helping out the next generation of kids that want to do TV and radio and journalism and all that good stuff. So it was awesome. Got a chance to spend a couple days up there, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to the School of Syracuse. Shout out to Spectrum. It was an awesome time, man. You were all over. You went coast to coast, LA to Chicago up in here, right?
Yeah, it was busy, but I'm back, ready to roll. We got a lot to get to, a lot of great stuff on a Monday after some big games. So let's do it. And I should say, be sure to check out our brand new YouTube channel. You're probably watching right now. If not, make sure you try to subscribe. That's right. YouTube right now, the simulcast. So just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Again, that's Odd Couple FSR. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And again, check us out on YouTube. Watch us live right now. Just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. Real cool. Let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew because we wouldn't be able to do this fine radio program without him. We are in full effect. Rob G is our producer. Bud Mexican. Alex is our engineer.
Alex, you're a hidden talent.
Steve DeSager's at the anchor desk.
Hey, Steve.
He'll keep us updated throughout the program. And Sagar
So it's just ridiculous.
is our social
it's ridiculous.
media guru.
Sagar in there? Is he in there? I didn't see him.
Yeah,
what up, Sagar?
He's definitely.
Hey, that's racist.
Wait, why is it racist?
Why couldn't you see him?
Oh, without. See, you almost. Ooh, I almost joined in on the racism. Shout out to Sagar.
There you go. Yep. So there we go. We had the big college basketball choke job. Rob G. Duke choked it down. I don't know any other way. Of course, UConn had to make a basket, the big three-pointer, but it's a choke job when you're up by 19 points and you can't close it out. So there we go. Most people were shocked yesterday.
Yeah, it was a tough scene if you're a Blue Devils fan, if you're a Jon Scheyer fan, if you're a member of the Boozer family, because the Duke Blue Devils were up by 19 points in the first half, 15 points at halftime. Guys, just for some context here, number one overall seeds in the history of March Madness were 134-0.
You can stop right there.
Went up by 15 or more points at half until yesterday. Duke, specifically, the basketball program, was 298-0 when having an 18-point lead at any point in time during a college basketball game until yesterday. In the final moments, after gagging away a double-digit halftime lead, they still have a chance to win. They're up 2 with the ball, 10 seconds left. They inbound the ball. They pass it around the horn. Freshman Caden Boozer has the ball at half court, tries to throw it ahead to run the clock out. The ball gets stolen, and lo and behold, UConn, a freshman of their own, comes up and pulls from 35 feet. Shout out to that young man. Let me get his name. I'll give him all the credit in the world here.
Mullins.
Mullins, yes. Braylon Mullins. The shot you're going to hear and see in forever.
One shining moment.
It's like 2 shining moments. That's it. End of story. Duke goes home. UConn survives. Third Final Four in 4 seasons. Jon Scheyer and the boys choked it away again.
All right, and that's where I want to start. Jon Scheyer. He should be called Jon Cryer because people who support this guy should be crying in their beer. He should be fired. If we're going to do Hubert Davis like that, there's no reason Jon Scheyer. This is not a one-off. Third straight season that Duke's season ended in stunning fashion, and for the second straight year with a late game collapse. Mm-hmm. There's a pattern here. And he can go ahead and tell everybody that it wasn't about one play or whatever. It's a choke job, and the players weren't ready to close out the game. He can say whatever he wants. 10 seconds to go, Kelvin, guess what? You don't have to advance the ball across the midcourt. Nope. So where are you going with the basketball? Where are you going? You don't have to do that. Grab the ball, let them foul you, make some free throws. Correct? Mm-hmm. Right? What are we doing? So when I look at this, and people say, oh, well, the kid's this. Dude, 19-point lead, 15-point lead at halftime. You got to win those games. You can't keep choking down these games. 3 years in a row with bad endings for Duke. What is the point of it? At some point, you got to look at the coach. You have to. I was all about Hubert Davis being done, right? Mm-hmm. That was 2 years in a row for him. So why shouldn't Jon Cryer be sent on his way? And I say Cryer because you know how many people on Tobacco Road were crying yesterday? In absolute they were in stundom. That's what I call stundom. Because there's no way you expect to lose that. Go look, if you're a Duke fan, go look at the people on the UConn side. They can't even believe it because it just with that amount of time.
That was crazy.
Like you could go look at it. Did you see Hurley's mother? Did you read her lips?
If we can't say it already, we'll lose our job.
We can't even say what she said because she couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. And then everybody, all the coach speak, always, you can't always blame the coach. Oh, wait a minute. So he was a good coach when they were up by 19, but now you think he's a bad? Yeah. These guys, don't listen to these coaches. Don't listen to any of them. It's a fraternity. All they do is cover for each other. If we're going to celebrate you when you win, we should have the right to tear you down when you lose. Stop with this. Well, in the first half, when they were up by 19, no. We talk about it all the time. Sports has a short menu, wins and losses. There's no in between. If they survive and win the game, you move on. Mm-hmm. All right? You don't got to nitpick about blowing a 19-point lead as long as you win the game. When you don't win the game, yes, there's blame to be had. I'm blaming this on John Cryer because he should cry in his beer when they announced that he's no longer at Duke.
Let me tell you something. He ain't going nowhere. You might have to start crying. Let me tell you who has a locked position. First of all, Coach K handpicked him. He has been they've been fantastic with him. I agree. You want to win these games. There's no denying. He'd be the first person to sit right next to us that said that. They absolutely want to win these games and get to the championship. So I don't deny that. But you can't just let that guy go who's been having so much success so far. And it's early in his tenure. He's 124 in 25 in 4 seasons. That guy ain't going nowhere. Now let's switch to the other side. And that other guy that ain't going nowhere, and that's Dan Hurley and his team. They absolutely snatched the heart out of Duke. To me, I don't look at that as a choke job because it wasn't as if Duke wasn't playing hard, wasn't getting good shots. What happened was UConn started to make the shots. They were 1 of 18 from 3. 1 of 18. And they finally, down the stretch, they go 4 or 5, and it's late in the second half. They make a bunch of shots, and that, including the Mullins three to win the game. And you also got to give credit to their big man, Tyrus Reed Jr., who had 26 points in the game.
I'm not giving him credit,
but specifically, he had 11 points in the first 9 minutes. He willed his team back in. He punished Duke down low and got his team in it and kept them in it enough that they felt like they had a chance to win. And you got to give credit if you're going the opposite of Dan Shire.
Giving credit to who?
I ain't saying literally you. I'm saying you to you two.
Oh, not me.
And if it's credit taken away from Dan Shire.
Rob G gave you the number 134-0. That you're the one. What credit? 134.
Watch the game. Like that. UConn absolutely came back and took their heart, and they were playing well. No, they just weren't making the shots.
They got a lucky break because they didn't know what they were doing at the end of the game.
Right,
they didn't know how to close the game out as a coach. If that
is 5 plays in a row, I'd give that to you. That wasn't.
It's not. That game has to be wrapped up. No, it wasn't.
That's my point. It wasn't 5 games.
What passes the freshman making?
And that is my point where I'm going next. I'm glad you mentioned that. And another reason why I'm not counting this as a choke, because you got a bunch of freshmen out there, and that's why I told y'all at the start of this tournament that the freshman dandies and all that aren't going to be able to win it. It's not their fault. Freshmen typically can't do this. Shout out to Carmelo, but typically that doesn't happen. You have to have grizzled teams. You have to have a bunch of guys who've been there, and that was the contrast with UConn and in Duke.
UConn
has a bunch of seniors, juniors, and sophomores out there.
You have to have a coach who explains the game to them and tell them you don't have to advance the ball.
And you got a bunch of freshmen out there.
You don't have to. There's 10 seconds left. All you need to do is secure the ball.
And if he holds the ball, and that's what freshmen do. They freeze up and they make bad choices. And that's what happens when you got a bunch of freshmen out there. And that's what I think. Well, I keep saying these teams are going to start winning because they're going to get the juniors and the seniors and the 22-year-old from another school and the 23-year-old guys who've been there, guys who've got some grizzle. They've been through the ups and downs, the bumps and bruises. And you saw with Duke, that freshman, the booties got tight. They start tightening up. And that's what happened when you got a bunch of young kids who aren't been there feeling the pressure. And Dan Hurley and his team, a lot of those guys have been there or have played some big-time basketball. So they went out there, they snatched Duke's heart. And we got to give credit when people are able to pull it off. And now they have a chance to go and get back and win a title for the 3rd time in 4 years if they can get it done in the Final Four. So absolutely, I give. They made the shots. They made the great defense.
Choke
they got
job.
tough down
it's a
there.
choke job. It's not.
Absolutely no.
It's a choke job.
If that was Christian Laettner and Grant Hill and Bobby Hurley, I would agree with you.
That's
a bunch of freshmen. Half of them might not even be on the team next year.
John Cryer, you should be fired. How dare Duke? If they keep that guy,
they're absolutely
I don't
keeping
care,
him.
I don't care how many games he wins during the regular season. Duke ain't about no damn regular season.
Man,
it's ridiculous.
1,000%.
He's not. It's not about a regular season. It's
I can't
about winning.
express to you
it's
whose
about
job
winning a
I
championship.
don't know if there's somebody with a more secure job except for Dan Hurley. That man ain't going nowhere.
Well, it tells you Duke doesn't want to win. Maybe they don't want to win if the same thing keeps happening.
Or you say we get there.
It keeps happening.
Coach,
getting there doesn't mean anything.
45 years Coach K was there. He got 5. Is that good enough for you? Jim Boeheim was there 72 years. You get mad at the one time Izzo. So my point is, John Sharp, he ends up 45 years. Maybe he gets a few.
Nah, that 3 years in a row is bad news. All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Did Duke choke it away against UConn on Sunday, and does John Shire deserve to be fired after this loss? We'll continue that conversation next with you, 877-99 on Fox. It is the Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
Because the band's back together in the US of A.
So you got to start to looking at, Rob G, looking at the teams who are going to win it, and some of them are favored to have those freshman phenoms.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is year in, year out, we always talk about tournament time, like, hey, who's going to win it, who's going to cut down the nets, and usually it comes down to one or two things. Either, because full disclosure, most of these people picking brackets are not watching all these college basketball games.
Right.
So
Let's
they're
just keep
going
it
by
real, right.
either, hey, Ken Pom or whatever ranks this team as the best team in the country, I'm just going to roll with them. Or more than likely, I've heard of this guy before. I've heard of this coach before. I'm going to bet on Coach Izzo. I'm going to bet on Coach K. And in this case, if you've been living under a rock, the entire college basketball season has been revolving around the play of a handful of freshmen. They're calling it the greatest freshman class that we've ever seen as it relates to NBA draft prospects. It's headlined by 4 guys. Number 1, Cameron Boozer, Duke. He's going to be the National Player of the Year. He's on a quest right now to become, I think, just the second player ever to get National Player of the Year and win a national championship as a freshman. Number 2, a guy we've talked about on this show, Darren Peterson over in Kansas. Now, they're only a 4 seed, but by all accounts, Darren Peterson was viewed as the number 1 draft prospect in this class. Now, because of some load management, some injury issues, we don't know what it is, his stock is kind of taking a hit. So now it's like, hey, this is where he's going to reestablish himself as the best player in the country. Number 3, A.J. DeBansa. He's a guy we've known about for years, even before these other two, because he was viewed as the next Tracy McGrady, the next great lanky wing player to come out. And then he goes to play with BYU, and it's like, well, that raised some eyebrows. What's he doing playing at BYU when you're a 5-star prospect? Leading scorer in the country, all eyes are on him. And last but not least, the guy who's kind of taken this basketball world by storm, especially in the last couple of weeks, Acuff Jr. out of Arkansas.
He's nice.
Nephew, a friend of the show, Rashad Phillips, who might get on this week to talk about it. He is being viewed as, hey, if this was any other year, this kid is in that John Wall, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose class of point guards. If there's anybody who can lead their team deep, it's this kid. He's explosive. They just won the SEC tournament. So, guys, I ask you, given how ballyhooed this freshman class is, how much are you betting on one of these 4 guys cutting down the nets at the end of the tournament?
I'm going with none. I'm going with none, and they're amazingly talented. We get it. They've been driving the basketball ratings as far as notoriety. You talked about the names you're looking for. But historically, Rob G, I got to just say it doesn't really work when you have these fabulous freshmen, these freshman phenoms. And this is coming from somebody born and raised in Ann Arbor, Michigan, who saw the Fab Five and cried tears as a 10, 11-year-old when they lost back-to-back, in NCAA championship games. And it was difficult. And there's something to that. And by the way, these teams we're talking about ain't loaded like that. That team would go on to have a Hall of Famer in Chris Webber, a heck of a player in Jalen Rose, and a really, really good player in Juwan Howard, and so on and so forth, Jimmy King and Ray Jackson. But my point is they had some guys. These teams don't even have that. You're looking at Carmelo Anthony, who did it in 03, Anthony Davis in 2012, and really Jahlil Okafor, who led that Duke team back in 2015. That's it for the most part when you had these outstanding players who were freshmen. I just think it's too difficult for multiple reasons, Rob G. You're looking at teams that nowadays, Rob, how many jokes do I make last year around this time? I said, Rob, that guy looks like he went to high school with me and you. Or that guy looks like this. These kids are still getting the COVID years. You're still getting kids who get the fifth year, kids who find the way to get these 6 years. There's so much experience. Teams are transferring and getting transfer players who have been playing for years at other schools. So it is more difficult. You're having teams with so much experience. So many guys are on these teams that have done this before. And then you're playing teams when you're going to these tournaments that have nothing to lose, right? You're playing teams, we ain't going to win. We ain't going to win. So, therefore, they're playing styles and shooting up threes that you're not ready for. It is too much to ask these freshman phenoms to carry a team that is so reliant on them all the way through the tournament. That's why, Rob, I think it's just too difficult for them to do. And not to mention, I believe also sometimes with these players the last, 7, 8 years, in the back of their brain, the NBA is a consolation prize, right? So it becomes, I'm trying. I want to win this tournament game, but if we lose, guess where I'm going? I'll be a top 5, top 6, top 7 pick in a matter of a few weeks anyway. So in the back of your brain, you kind of have that thing you can rely on and say, well, if we lose, so what? I'm going to be a top pick, a lottery pick, and you have that.
You think they think that when they're out there playing, really?
No, I think they're competing, but subconsciously, what's the worst that can happen? Whereas
I'm just saying,
I'm
like, if you're
so
playing,
back in the 90s,
I just couldn't imagine be thinking about, okay, I'm playing in a basketball game. No, I'm dead serious.
I'm serious.
This ain't football where you don't want to play in a meaningless game. I get that. You're playing in a tournament. I don't know how.
I think
you're
they
at 19 years old
want to win, but if in the back of your brain, this is the difference when you know you're one and done.
I hit it so good today.
Oh,
it was fun.
Not right now. Alex, he done been through a lot.
I did pull out.
I wasn't here Friday. I was just talking to Rob. Like, we got to ban him, right? Like, he just can't drive anymore. Period.
Ban him?
We don't have the time to get into that right now. I'll come in there and talk to you in a minute about that because that was ridiculous. It is The Odd Couple. He's Rob. I'm Kelvin. Back at it on a Magic City Monday. If you missed any of today's show, don't worry because you can catch up on the podcast. Just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. And right after the show, today's pod is going to be posted, so be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. So, again, just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast, and you're going to find today's full version and then a best of version right after the show ends. Shout out to Rob G getting it all up for us. D. Brown former Illinois All-American point guard, going to be joining us in a minute. Talk some more March Madness. Right now, 877-99 on Fox. Choke job by Duke. They snatched their heart by UConn. Rob, 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
Shaq in Richmond. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Shaq?
I think UConn won it. Can you dig it?
Hey, Kelvin, I need you to check under that table, man. See if any liquor bottles under there. I don't know what Rob's talking about.
Hey, he's sipping on something brown right now. He's going to try to tell me it's iced tea. It might be the Henny. I don't know.
Hey, Rob, you my man. I'm a diehard Duke fan. I was actually in the building. UConn was just a more mature team down the stretch. John Shire can't help players slipping and falling with live ball turnovers. Like, they just didn't finish the game as a team.
Where were they going with the ball? Where were they going with the ball? I'm asking you at the end. Where were they going with 10 seconds to go?
Well, as a guard, you're taught, because they get drilled on this stuff. As a guard, you turn around in the track, you face up. You never give up your dribble and jump in the air to throw a pass. You never do that.
That's true. I used to have a bunch of turnovers my freshman year in high school with that.
Correct. So that's like some of these things like we just can't account for. Last year with Houston, Tyrese Proctor, a junior.
It can't be every year. It can't be, Shaq. It can't be, because if you want
free throws,
no. I don't buy into that, because you know what? When the players make the shot, just like Dan Hurley's getting all the love, if that kid misses that shot and they lose, ain't nobody calling up telling you how great Dan Hurley is. So if
he's not coaching the business.
No, my point is that if the coach is going to get credit when the kids make shots, the coach can get blamed when they miss. Come on, you can't have it both ways. You're talking about what's going on. It's terrible, dude.
I don't mind smoke when it's warranted. Like,
enjoy it, Shaq. Enjoy it. Enjoy Duke. If you think that's good. If you think that's
is
good
this Tom
for
Izzo level?
You know what I mean?
Is this Izzo for you?
I'm
like,
good.
is he gonna get one or no?
Yeah, no, he'll never get one, and I'm glad. I hope you never win a championship, Shaq, ever. I hope that school never wins again. Go ahead,
Rob
keep
G.
John Shire.
All right, where are we now?
Never.
What was the most recent one that he hoped never win something again? What was that recently? That had me rolling.
I don't even remember.
Right. Now Shire.
Never.
Well, we knew Izzo. Yeah, I thought it was another one.
Well, Izzo did exactly what we all knew he would do, which is win a big game. Andre in Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Listen, the bottom line is this. We have not seen a play so foolhardy and just lacking intelligence. It's been almost 45 years. Fred Brown, 82 NBA national championship. We remember Michael Jordan hit the shot, but Georgetown had another possession, and they had Patrick Ewing.
Yes!
And Fred Brown throws a no-look pass. He didn't even look at the player. He just threw it to James
Worthy. Yep.
And ran the other way, and that ended the game. Georgetown could have won that. They had a full possession, and they had Patrick Ewing. He threw a no-look. He didn't even look at James Worthy. He just threw it to him. The thing with this that's so mind-boggling, we give Duke the benefit of the doubt because they're a Southern Ivy. They're supposed to be the enlightened ones. They got the brotherhood, billions of dollars investment. That was the most boneheaded play, and everybody knows it. Duke is the last team you expect to do something so ridiculous. So in terms of culture, John Shire, he's a great coach, great recruiter. They have this whole model. They have a general manager. He doesn't get in people's behinds like Bobby Hurley and really get down nothing.
Dan Hurley.
You mean Dan Hurley, his brother.
Dan Hurley, excuse me. You will do this, and I'm going to be hard on you. And he just didn't have the precision in the moment. There's no reason, as everybody said, if he would have took a travel and Duke and given them a chance to defend, anything he could have done but what he did, Duke would have still had
Dre, is that the reason they lost, or was it the fact they were up 19 and they lost? That one play for
Dre.
you?
Appreciate it.
That one play was, yes, that one single play destroyed everything.
Okay.
All you had to do
all right, Dre. I want to get you fired up. I want to get you fired up.
Dre, thank you. I'm with you. Rodney in Michigan. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Rodney?
Well, all I got to say is go blue. Michigan has a chance to pull it out. They've had a great season.
You ain't lying.
And it was
not the women right now. They're getting thrashed.
Well, you can't have it all with
right.
In the Final Four. But I wasn't watching the game, and I didn't even think it was a game until really late. And I think John Shire's on the hot seat. You don't get many chances at Duke to have teams like he's had to not win it.
Yes.
He's got to win it.
At some point, you got to win. Like winning all those games and doing that. Everybody's reading off his record and his stats, and they're all great, but you have nothing to show for it.
In this day and age, you only get so many chances before you're gone.
I would agree with you in 75 to 85% of other instances. Not Duke, not with Coach K, and not him being a former player. I don't agree with that. Especially if he was not winning and they were 12 seeds and all that, I give you that.
Nah, you got to win at some point.
I agree. I agree at some point.
The idea that he's going to stay there forever and keep losing, you're kidding yourself.
Dude, I'm just saying it's not like he's losing. Dude, they were getting into with it. Lead eight. Were they in Final Four last year, Rob G?
Yeah, you in the Tom Izzo school, right?
No,
yeah.
I'm saying
26 years.
He's just started coaching. It's not like this is 25.
No, but that's what they said to Tom Izzo 25 years ago. Oh, don't worry about it. He'll get it the next year. He'll get it the next year. He'll get it the next year. And guess what? They didn't get it.
I'm not arguing about Tom Izzo. The only thing Tom Izzo would say, I've been to what 10 Final Fours or whatever it is.
So that means that just means that he can't win the big game, right?
Right. Well, different in college basketball.
Does that mean?
I'm going to be honest. In college basketball, the Final Four does matter. That's very much on your resume, and people hang banners for that.
That's what people do when they lose. When they're losers, they count Final Four.
I would agree with you in every other sport
gotta win
except
more
college
than
basketball.
One championship in 26 years.
Well, what about Boeheim?
Sorry about that. 1 in 52 years. Go ahead.
So you got 2 in 80, 90 years between the two of them? All right, on
terrible
the way,
coaches. Terrible.
It can't be terrible, Rob. They make it to the Final Four. Terrible is crazy. D Brown on the way right now. Steve DeSager getting you set on what's trending.
Hello in the NBA tonight. Anthony Edwards returns for Minnesota after the knee injury. Tip-off in an hour with the Wolves at Dallas. Atlanta's about to host a Boston team that's won 3 straight but does not have Jason Tatum tonight, out for rest. He is the player of the week in the East. In the West, Denver's Nikola Jokic won it. Jaylen Brown of Boston returns tonight after an Achilles injury. Detroit has one of the late games at Oklahoma City. Jalen Duren of the Pistons out with a knee injury. Lakers, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, will host Washington. The Lakers' Luka Doncic is suspended for this game after getting his 16th technical of the season. The league's board approved the sale of the Portland Trail Blazers. The transaction is due to close this week. Currently on the scoreboard, Philadelphia has 9 early points from Joel Embiid and 8 from Paul and George, and Tyrese Maxey is back in the starting lineup. But late first quarter at Miami, the Heat ahead of Philly, 36-24. In the women's NCAA regional finals, 1 seed Texas leads after the first quarter in Fort Worth, 22-9 over Michigan. Tonight's winner meets UCLA this Friday. South Carolina against TCU in Sacramento later tonight. That winner will face number 1 UConn at the Final Four this Friday. Connecticut women 38-0 after winning Sunday against Notre Dame. In fact, UConn's won 54 straight. The men's Final Four is this Saturday, including Connecticut against Illinois, then Arizona versus Michigan. By the way, the Crown basketball tournament starts Wednesday on FS1 from Vegas. 5 NHL games tonight, including Pittsburgh, scoreless at the Islanders in the first period. Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl in 2029. In Major League Baseball, the Royals were 3-1 winners over Minnesota today. In KC's home opener, Chris Bubich, the winning pitcher, went 6 innings. Rangers lead 4-1 at Baltimore in the bottom of the third. White Sox out to a 4-0 lead at the Marlins, bottom of the third. Nationals lead 5-0 at Philadelphia, top of the third. Back to you.
Steve, thank you. It is the odd couple, Rob and Kelvin, on the Magic City Monday. Joined now by D. Brown, former Illinois All-American point guard, Roosevelt University head coach, D. Brown 11 on X. D, what's up, man?
How y'all doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's good to have you on, of course, this time of the season. You, Darren Williams, y'all boys used to give Michigan some problems. I'm from Ann Arbor, so I didn't appreciate how y'all would do us back in the day.
That was all fun games, man. All fun games.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, jump in on this for us, man. Rob and I just had an argument, disagreement. No surprise, that's what we do here. But he said choke job by Duke. I said I got to give credit to UConn. They snatched that game. Whose side are you on?
I think they snatched the game. I mean, I think Duke, got to take care of the basketball. But, I mean, they wouldn't take that. That shot that kid hit was unbelievable, man. I think UConn really competed at a high level, due to them being down. I mean, it was down most of the whole game, getting blown out. For them to fight back, it just showed their championship DNA. So I think UConn took it from them.
But, D, they were teams with a 15-point lead in the second half 134-0. It never happened. That's a choke job. You can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. I give them credit for making the shot, but if they do what they're supposed to do and coach the right way, you win that game. 134-0.
Somebody got to be the first, Rob. Dang it!
No, it's just like
first.
It's just like, do you remember when the Pacers beat the Knicks? It was like 1,050-0 when the Pacers beat the Knicks in that game. So I'm just saying, at some point, you got to be able to secure a game in that situation.
Yeah, there's some truth to that for sure. Absolutely. But again, I mean, man, UConn fault, man. That's a tough team, man. When they got that championship DNA, they well coached. Like anything can happen in the tournament. And again, with you saying that those facts, those numbers, man, it's the first time for everything.
Let me ask you this. When we look at some of these players in the tournament, obviously there's been the young freshman like a Boozer, for example, in that game. How difficult is it where we, the fans, sometimes look at some guys and we go, it's a shoo-in, he's going to be amazing in the NBA. It's not always like that. Or guys who, we kind of say, well, I didn't see that coming. Where'd that come from? Tell me a little bit about the translation from college to pros and how sometimes it's not as easy as we all assume it would be.
Oh, it's definitely a tough transition, but I just think with his background, his dad being who he is, and the trainers and the people he's been around, I think a guy like Boozer will be just fine. I mean, they play NBA-style basketball already over there at Duke, so I think the coaching and his upbringing is going to give him a really good chance to make that transition. But it is hard for a lot of guys. It is you go from being the top dog, and now you go to the big boy level, and everybody, you're around the guys you used to idolize and want to be, so. Some guys do struggle to transition, but a guy like Boozer, I think, is going to be fine because of how he was raised throughout, his life of playing basketball, and who his father gave him, had the resources around him to make sure he was going to be successful.
Hey, and let me ask you this real quick, Rob. Me and Rob have sat here. We've talked about it before. Is this where now, because you mentioned it, if you're not trainer since you were 11 or 10, I got a trainer, I got this, I'm playing in this market, in this travel league. You remember back in the day, if you just hooped in your neighborhood and at your neighborhood high school, if you were good, they find you and you still go to college, go to the pros. It seems like now if you don't have a trainer, you're not in this youth league, this travel team, like that's almost a new track to get to the pros.
Absolutely, but it's been like that in other sports, but basketball is really like that now because if you do get the trainers and you be around the better competition, you've been playing against guys. Like you ain't just playing against your local neighborhood guys. You're playing against guys who top 10 in the country. They got the same access to the resources and the things you got. So you need that competition coming up, and you need to play a lot of basketball to get good at it.
Or your dad is a fading star on one of the biggest teams in the NBA. That might help.
What you trying to say, Rob?
I
ain't see that father to son pass for a 3 the other night?
D, all I want you to know is I teach at USC, and not too many guys who average 5 points in college
get drafted.
You'd have to show me the list of people.
There's a list.
So, how about the Europeans that come over that's averaging 0.5 and 1 point a game?
It's crazy. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know too many of them. You'd have to give me the names.
That's the point. You don't know them, and that's why they go 52nd and 58th. We don't know.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who did you pick in the tournament to make it to the championship? What 2 teams?
I ain't trying to jinx nothing on here, man. I'm a huge Illinois guy. Y'all know I'm orange and blue to death, man. I love it. I really like Arizona off the back though to come in. They're really good. I know Michigan been playing really good basketball. I like the Final Four. I like those 4 teams. I think any of those teams can win it. They always say about matchups and who come to play that night. But I thought Arizona a really good team. But if you want me to give you one now, the way my boys playing, man, Illinois is looking really good.
So just because that's your school, that's it. There's no way you can look and not pick them.
No, you can. It's just stylistically, man. If they get going, man, they got the size. They got a championship roster. And I've been saying that they got a championship roster. But at the end of the day, all 4 of those teams can win again. I told you I like Arizona from the jump. I think they got a great mixture of young and veteran leadership. And then Coach Lloyd doing a great job coaching those guys. I think their depth is really good, and they've been playing good basketball all year and making it look really easy. So. It's some really good teams out there. I just watched Michigan this past weekend at the United Center. Their size, their shooting. It's some really good ball about to be played at an elite level this coming week.
He is D. Brown, former Illinois All-American point guard, Roosevelt University head coach. Let me ask you, you just mentioned, you said, they've got a good mix of freshmen and juniors and seniors and whatnot. Like, do you think we're past the day we're just going to see those typical teams that kind of have freshman guys and they grow together and they get better? And is it just always going to be a crop of new people at all the big schools, new guys, new transfers, this guy in the league, where you'll never have that old continuity like your old teams used to have, where we saw you, Luther Head, Darren Williams and whatnot?
No, you're not going to see that anymore. You're going to see guys really utilizing the portal, really exchanging player to player, going for production, going for the older guys, the maturity. They're not going to go with the youth. You can add some few of those guys into the mix, but I just think you're going to see a lot more veteran or maturity out there with the age. You can see it even in football. The average team this year in Indiana was 23.5, right? So I think you're going to have a mixture of older guys and sprinkle in a few young guys, but ain't no young team going to win it. The Cinderella days I think is a little over with because of the the budget that these big boys got. They got $20 million rosters. It's going to be hard to compete with that.
Yeah, we talk about it too. I just don't think. I think you'll have schools that have a chance, like Illinois, like Iowa was there. Kind of those, I call it like the lower half of the conferences now, because they'll have some money. Because if you're in Iowa, you got some money. Purdue, but the little Wichita States, I don't think we're gonna see that anymore.
No.
Think those days.
Yeah, they just gonna go. They just gonna go in the portal, man. Like I said, you look at Michigan starting 5. They got 4 or 5 dudes on their team or one dude that returned. They got 4 portal guys, and they all mesh together so well. So you won't see people utilizing the portal in a big way.
As a coach, my question to you is: this is what drives me crazy. If we give coaches credit when their teams win, why can't we give coaches blame when they don't win?
That's what for me. That's why they get paid the big bucks. They got to take the blame. Okay. I respect coaching. I love coaching. When your team playing really well, you're making the right adjustments. You recruited the right players. You definitely get compensated. You definitely get praised. So when you go out and you lose a basketball game, you get out coached, or you feel like you make a few adjustments here and there. You should definitely take the blame and it is what it is. That's the reason why you in that position.
Right. My biggest issue is that I hear people all the time go, well, Shire didn't turn the ball over. He didn't miss this. Oh, well, when his kids were making shots and they were up by 19, he didn't make any of those shots either. So I don't understand it.
That was Boozer getting busy.
No, but I'm just saying I don't understand it, and I think you're D. What you just said is spot on. It's got to be both ways. When things are going great, you get a new contract, you get more money. When things aren't good, there's a time. What do they say? The NFL's not for long.
Not for long league.
And you know that when you're a coach, like you got to. It's a results business. I say it all the time on this show a million times. Sports has a short menu: wins and losses. There's nothing else.
There's nothing else, and it's really that simple. I'm speaking from a guy who's just coming off a really down year for myself, and I take all responsibility and got to be better. I just think you got to take accountability in today's game, today's world is lacking. You need to take accountability. You need to stand up and take if it's the praise, it's the praise. If it's blame, it's the blame. But you got to step up and hold yourself accountable. And I just think that's what since I've been playing the game of basketball and being around it, that I've done that at a high level. Just hold myself accountable, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it is a win-loss business. I always put this on my Twitter. If you read it, I say I'm in the competition business. People are like, I wonder what that means. Like, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to win.
Line. No doubt. Hey, well, have a bounce-back year, man.
Thanks,
we
D.
appreciate you, brother.
Man, appreciate y'all, man.
No doubt. We'll have to have you on again, man. D. Brown right there, D. Brown 11. Go ahead and give him a follow on X. Your Tie Rack play of the day on the way, plus also Shekel City. And also, Rob has a thought about what the Rams should have did. We'll tell you what that thought is next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. So the Lakers have won 9 of 10, 6 straight, and currently sit third in the West. And that game last night, was a big one because now they sit full game and a half ahead of Houston they're sitting third in the West. So question becomes, do you buy the Lakers, Rob? Are you in? Are you saying, you know what? They got a little formula going. LeBron has been vocal about he doesn't mind taking a step back, whatever it takes for the team to win, and obviously 9-1. They got some good wins in it too. Denver, Houston, a few other good wins as well. So you in?
I'm out. If you ask me if the Lakers were bologna or filet, I'm going with bologna.
Do you want to spell that?
Bolononga. Is that it? How we spell it?
I don't know. You said that one so fast. I was
BLON. No, here's my issue. Regular season is not postseason. Getting stops, playing defense. I was listening to a lot of NBA analysts, and they were saying what they're shocked about, teams not devising a way to go at Luka, you know what I mean, during a stretch, and just, abuse him, right? Like you can do that. And I think in the playoffs, when you have a series and you're seeing somebody, right, 4 out of 7 nights, you'll come up with a plan. And defensively, I don't think they're good enough. And I think that, and I know people thought you could just outscore everybody last year. Everybody thought that they would be the team.
Austin Reeves giving you almost 30 a game. So
okay,
that's
but in the playoffs, he did last year. He didn't. Go back and look at the numbers. He didn't show up in the playoffs. He played poorly. And I'm just saying, the regular season is just different. Like it is. They'll let you get off. They'll let you do your thing for the most part. They're not going to lock down and put all this energy in a regular season games. It's different in the postseason. And I just think those 3 statues out there will not be able to, right, with some of the younger legs and younger players that are in the Western Conference and have a chance to make a run in the postseason. I just don't see them there. And this whole idea, I know it's good. LeBron saying the right thing for right now. We'll see. Now they lose 3 in a row, right? Now is LeBron still on board with this? It's good. It's easy to say that now. You've won 6 in a row and 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? What happens when they lose 3 in a row or 3 out of 4 or something? Then all of a sudden, I think there's an issue. That's just where I'm at. I'm not going to. They're good. They have enough talent. The NBA has enough. A lot of weak teams. They have won some good games during the stretch. So I'm not saying they're all pieces of cake. But I'm not like a run to the Western Conference Finals. No, I don't see it.
And that's the conversation that we're having. Meaning, do I think there's 2 or 3 teams in a playoff matchup they can beat the lower teams? I think they could beat Minnesota. I think they could give Houston a run for the money. Yes, I think they're the Phoenix Suns if they make it. Yeah, there's a handful of teams that the Lakers could beat in a round. The problem is, Rob, they picked a bad time to be trying to do this with LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka. I look at this, they got to go through potentially a run of like going through, the Suns who are playing pretty, better than we all thought once all the guys left.
Much better.
Yeah, got to give him credit.
Give Devin Booker credit.
Absolutely.
I did not expect
he's looking
that.
like I didn't need him. I got to the finals without him.
They had Bradley Beal.
Yeah, then you bring KD and Bradley Beal, and we stink. Now they're gone. We're back solid. But you got to go through one of these tougher teams early. These lower teams, but are tough. It could be whoever. Minnesota without Anthony Edwards could drop, and you could end up playing them a first round.
Minnesota's a tough one, too.
Right, and that's what I mean. You got to play the Minnesota. But then you might have to go through like a Denver or something. And then you might have to go through the Spurs. Or
Denver,
the
for whatever reason, has always been a mismatch for the
They match up until the last 5 minutes.
Right.
And Jamal Murray or Jokic wins the game. And I could see that same thing happen where it's a good matchup because it can kind of go bucket for bucket.
And then all of a sudden,
it's just the closer end. But now if you're the Lakers, you're hoping maybe because now you got the better version of Luka that you can close it. But here's a couple of things in their favor. Again, I don't think they're going far. I think the Thunder are winning. The Spurs are right there. I think the winner's going to come out of the West. It'll be Spurs or Thunder, in my opinion.
Oh, I thought the Pistons were winning, no?
No, I didn't say
okay.
that. I never said that. I like what they're doing, but not right now. Not to win it, no.
Not this year.
Here's a couple of things. They're 20th. We're talking about defense with the Lakers. 20th defensive rating, which isn't, it's bottom third. So that's
20
not
out of 30, right?
That's not gonna cut it. To win a championship, because one thing we often talk about, even those Warrior teams, they were always top 3 number one a lot of the times in defensive rating. You usually have to be outstanding defensively. Look at you know who's number one defensively, defensive rating? The Thunder. It is the odd couple, Rob, Kelvin, on a Magic City Monday. Again, big shout out to D Brown. Just joined us moments ago. Appreciate it. We'll have that up on the pod as always. It is now time for your Tire Rack play of the day.
From the baseline, long throw in, and it's knocked away. And the UConn Huskies storm the floor. An epic comeback from 19 points down. UConn wins it 73-72.
Westwood Radio there on the call. Your Tire Rack play of the day brought to you by Tire Rack. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. Now, Shekel City.
Welcome to Shekel City, the home base for Rob Parker's daily picks against the spread.
How'd you do?
Did I do that?
I certainly didn't do that. Maybe it was because I was traveling or something.
Yeah, you might have been enjoying the streets a little bit. What'd you do?
0-3 on Friday.
You're a human.
88-61. Still got a good record. I'll take 27 games over 500.
This ain't the stretch, is it? This ain't the 0-3, 1-2 for 2 weeks.
I already know. All right, here we go. Best bet.
Who you got?
Got the Celtics minus 2.5, plus 2.5. Celtics plus 2.5.
Who they playing?
They're playing Atlanta in Atlanta.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that game's on my face right now.
I got Timberwolves minus 8.5 in Dallas.
Oh, my.
And I got the Suns minus 12.5 against Memphis. So I'm going Celtics, T-Wolves, and the Suns. And remember, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
Did you see, man, I talking to Roger, I was like, dang, I know Cade Cunningham is out. They got the Thunder favored by 13.5 against the Pistons. Golly. And that's the second of a night of a back-to-back for Denver, too. Or not Denver, Thunder. My goodness.
Well, and what you call's out, too? Isn't it more than just him?
Is it Darren out, too?
Yeah, he's out, too.
Oh, well, yeah, never mind. That's about right.
No, he's out. He's out.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
That's right. I'm about to say, I'm like, that seems a little bit extreme. Hey, you had thoughts on with the Rams kind of gets out something that they had considered during the season, and that was possibly trading Devontae Adams. Obviously, they didn't, but that was a conversation they said they were kicking around a little bit.
I would have made the trade. Devontae Adams is officially bad luck. I don't know what else to say. I think he's lost, is it 4 or 5? 5 NFC title games. Because, you know, they lost to all those with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
I would just 5? Like he hasn't been to the Super Bowl. I mean, he got to be sick.
Are you saying he's the Buffalo Bills of receivers?
I'm just – when you add Devontae Adams to a team, you don't think that's going to be an issue. Like, seriously. And the Rams couldn't get there because they choked away that terrible game in Atlanta. Probably had they been, won that game and had home field, they probably would have beat Seattle.
That could have changed something. They didn't look great down the stretch. They were good. And I think, too, we realized, and I brought it up a handful of times, even when they were winning, I was saying, man, Rob, but they got to win kind of like the other team in L.A., like the Lakers in that, at a certain point where they were having to win 34-32 and just eke out some games. They're like, man, where's the defense?
But
on paper, they had the names. If I gave you the names, you'd be like, ooh, that defense. But the defense wasn't defensing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't defending.
But the other thing, too, was like at one point, I think Chauncey Billups went through that, too.
There you go.
Where he lost the 3 straight.
Oh, I didn't know where we were going. I was nervous.
No. He lost the 3 straight Eastern Conference Finals with the Pistons. Then he went to Denver, and they went to the Western Conference Finals, and he had a bad finals Western Conference Finals. And so he went 4 years in a row where he was
Did he go with the Knicks too?
Who, Chauncey Billups?
Yeah, remember he went to the Knicks.
I don't remember that.
Melo brought him over.
I don't remember him playing for the Knicks. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Right? Rob G? Billups was a Knick with Melo. Yeah. It was one of those, like, bring my dog, like, come on, he's a solid vet.
Maybe that's when he met the, what you call it?
Yeah, he hanging out in Atlantic City or something.
I'm just saying. The wise guys, maybe. Allegedly.
You talk about you were around him. Like, I just never saw that coming.
No. Chauncey is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, like just serious. A guy that you just would.
Never in that conversation. It's totally shocking, but
yeah, that hurts.
I had nothing but good times.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was around just a bit, young kid getting in this business.
You don't know everything that's going on.
Oh,
you know
100%.
what I'm saying?
And that's all of our lives. Everybody's got, things we're all working through. Not, they don't have to be that drastic, but I mean, everybody's working through something, man. That one, that caught me off guard. Michael Jordan has something to say. We'll tell you next. It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with one and a half of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not going to see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion.
Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm going to go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in, and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
In an NCAA women's regional final in Fort Worth, Texas has the halftime lead against Michigan 34-21. Later, it's TCU in Sacramento against South Carolina. NC State's new men's coach is Justin Gainey, Tennessee assistant. Utah State's new coach, Ben Jacobson from Northern Iowa. To the NBA, coming up in a half an hour, Minnesota at Dallas, and Wolves star Anthony Edwards returns after missing 6 games with knee inflammation. Right now, a second quarter lead for Philadelphia at Miami, 56-50. Celtics up 25-21 at Atlanta. Late first quarter, Jason Tatum of the Seas out for rest. He was named Player of the Week in the East. Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl in 2029. Major League Baseball, Rangers lead 4-1 at Baltimore, top of the 5th. White Sox have a grand slam. They're up 8-2 at the Marlins in the top of the 5th. Nationals lead 7-0 at the Phils, top of the 5th inning.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 2 here on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Be sure to check out our brand new YouTube channel. We appreciate all the support. Numbers are popping. They could be even better for you guys who might be listening but haven't subscribed yet. Just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Again, that's Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Be sure to hit that subscribe button when you get there. And you don't have to stop. You can put some comments to a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. Check us out on YouTube and watch us live. Right now, if you want, just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. Coming up in about 28 minutes, Jimmy King, down with the King. Jimmy King, a member of the Michigan Fab Five. I think Jimmy used to live in the same area where I did. I used to see him in the supermarket all the time where I lived in suburban Detroit.
Yeah, I run into him a few times over the years.
Yeah.
Obviously with Jalen a lot. Shout out to Jimmy King.
So we'll do that and much more. Hour number 2, Rob G. Michael Jordan had a big sit-down conversation with CBS News, Gayle King. Some interesting stuff came out of that.
Yeah, he spoke a lot about his NASCAR events and his, addiction to competition, and that kind of fills the void for him. Well, obviously, when you bring on Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, you got to ask him what it means to be the greatest of all time. And if you're an MJ fan, you may or may not have been disappointed with his answer. Take a listen.
There's no such thing as GOAT, to me.
No such thing?
Not to me. Yeah, it's only because I think, we are transcended from other people, other athletes. We learn from other athletes. We progress the game as we move further. To say that one is better than the other is not really right.
Not surprised at all. There's only one guy I know who goes around and says he's the GOAT, and that's LeBron James. And it's just typical. It's an indictment. Here's Michael, could easily pump his chest. I still sell more sneakers than anybody 20 years later.
That he does, for sure.
Like it's not even close. Like, I still have this. I only played 13 years. This guy played 23 years. Like, he could make the argument if he wants to. 6 NBA Finals championships, 6 MVPs, right, in the finals, like on and on and on. Defensive awards, offensive, everything. Highest scoring average in the postseason. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And I just think that is not surprising to me at all for Michael Jordan, because we talk about it all the time. You don't have to say it. That's for other people. And that's why athletes don't get into that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's for fans. That's for sports writers. That's for analysts on television to talk about the greatest. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. If I heard a player, if Clayton Kershaw said, "Oh, I'm the greatest left-handed pitcher," I would look at him and go, wouldn't you? Seriously. Yeah. You would go, what? Okay. there's some humility that goes with it as well. I've always respected Jordan from this standpoint. He does honor the people who came before him.
Oh, I'll give him a lot of credit.
He really, really does. At some point, there'll be some 25-year-old sitting in this chair, and maybe they'll remember my radio career. I'm just saying.
But what if they dish you? Would they be like, oh, no, I'm the GOAT?
Well, then that's fine.
Nah, yeah, right. You're going to be in your wheelchair in some nursing home like, he better know I did it 40 years, 45 years.
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be that guy. But I'm just saying, I admire that about Michael in that he doesn't want to diss the other people. And just as the game moves forward with the advantages that the players have and all the other, perks and stuff and masseuses and private planes and all, you just wonder if Michael Jordan and the Bulls had all of that stuff, you know what I mean, or some of these other teams, what would have happened? You know what I mean? It could have been even greater that they had all these things, but they played during their era, just like the older guys who played. I don't know if you guys have ever wore a pair of Converse.
Well, them things hurt.
Chuck Taylors?
I had the nerve to wear some the other day around Universal Studios, walking around the park.
You must be crazy.
I came here to that later that day.
Some of your feet didn't hurt.
Dude, I told Rob G, I said, man, what was I thinking?
You can't wear that. That's for like, I'm going out to a
Quick,
restaurant, I'm going to walk in the car, whatever, it matches my jeans or whatever, and then I'll come back home and take them off. That's it.
Mistakes
no walking.
Oh, I've been through the whole park with girls, daughters running everywhere. Go over here. Let's go over here. Walk me over here, Dad. Let's go get some ice cream. Feet were throbbing. I was looking like a Flintstone.
But I think that's something that LeBron can learn from Michael Jordan. And it's just, there's a way of dealing with it. There's a way of having humility. There's a way of, I still remember that clip in the barbershop. And when we came back from 3-1, that's when I knew I was the GOAT. That's what he said. He didn't even make the game-winning shot. And I know they still won. Kyrie, he made a block. Kyrie made the shot, right? But just like that's when I knew I was the GOAT.
Can I tell you what it is with LeBron? And tell me if this reigns true at all. I think one of the things that makes LeBron's claims, his proclamations, is that he doesn't even feel like he doesn't sell you when he says it. And I think that's one of the things. What I mean by that is sometimes if you're just that type of guy, Deion Sanders. Let's talk about the all-time greatest in that figuratively and literally, the greatest of all time in Muhammad Ali. If you had conviction behind it, if you just made us like, hey, he really believes this, and you walk the walk and you talk the talk, and even if we didn't agree, we'd be kind of be like, yo, I might not agree with Ali. Maybe you thought it was Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, whoever you thought it may, Tommy Hearns, whoever it may have been. You're like, hey, the way he says it, you kind of be okay with it. The thing with LeBron is it's often passive-aggressive. Or he'll backpedal the next time. Or he'll, you know what I mean? What I really meant was, see, y'all misconstrued my words. So I think one thing that would have favored LeBron is if he just always stood on business. Hey, I'm the best. I don't care. I'm the greatest. And if he stood on business with it, he does a lot of passive-aggressive. Y'all misunderstood. It's not what I meant. They're going to take my words out of context every time. He does that. So that, let me first drop that. I'll say this. I do think there is something about an era where there was a lot of respect. And we know Michael Jordan was raised. We know by his parents. We know how his mother is. We've read about it. We've heard about it. We've seen her in interviews. And when, of course, we've seen the movie, which is a great movie. I think it was just called Air. Was it Air? Air Jordan? Air? I think it was just Air. Really good movie. She plays an instrumental role. His father. And I think he was from that era where they would slap you upside the head if you do that. You know who else doesn't do that? You covered him for many years. And I think he is the greatest. Barry Sanders. Because what did he say? His dad would go out of his way when he was at Oklahoma State. He all right. He ain't no Jim Brown. Dang, Dad, I just scored 4 touchdowns, 280 yards. He all right. He ain't no Walter Payton. And so I think there's an era where, like, even if you think it, you don't necessarily say it all the time. And if you maybe mention it a time or two, but you didn't make a concerted effort, you paid homage to the elders. And that's where, again, LeBron has paid homage to Jordan. He wears 23 because of Jordan. But I just think he's caught in this era, Rob, where you were on it, the additions of the cold pizzas and the first takes and the first things first and debate shows and social media, where now these conversations are much louder than just simply a barbershop. And I think that's where guys get in a lot of trouble is where they're asked questions at a rate nobody in history was asked. They're asked questions, they're talked about at a rate.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I hear you. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to say, you could ask me all the there's humility. And I don't care how many times you ask me. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest sports writer or broadcaster of all time. I just, it couldn't come out of my mouth no matter how many times it's asked.
Now let me push back on that. Number one, that's not necessarily what we do with sports writing. We do that with athletes, right? He's the best, she's the best. There are people
think Howard Cosell was the greatest sportscaster.
But, I'm not saying it never happens. We don't have debate shows over it. And I think what's transpired over the last 20 years is if you're athlete X, fill in the blank who it is, in this case LeBron, I don't know if anybody would take the cake more than LeBron. Maybe Tom Brady could be up there. Every time I turn on the TV, it's me. I'm not the GOAT. You are the GOAT. I'm not the GOAT. You are the GOAT. Who's better? On a random summer day when ain't nothing happening except middle of the baseball, let's just say who's LeBron or Jordan. And I think at a certain point, you like, no, I'm the best because you see it, you're asked it, it's debate. Anytime somebody has you on a podcast or a show. So I think that's why it comes up more than historically was.
No,
it wasn't really asked that much all the time.
It could come up. People talk. I don't know what barbershop you went to. There's always debate. Who's the best boxer? Who's the best this? Who's the best?
For sure.
All right. Forever. Forever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean you as that person have to answer that or have to proclaim to yourself in a public forum, even if you might believe that. And that doesn't mean that Michael Jordan deep down on his best, you know what I mean, with his own homies or whatever, man, or a quiet night by himself looks at what he was able to accomplish and thinks, man, I was pretty damn good and I did all these things. So I'm not saying that you have to act like you didn't do anything. Even when don't you remember when LeBron went after they won and where's my damn respect? Like I just thought that.
I was all right with that one. The more the GOAT on the 2016, I get that one. People having frustration with that one. I'm okay with that more. What validation do you need from anybody? You just won. Right. But that's a good point. And I think he does.
You don't need validation.
I think LeBron does. I think Kobe didn't need ours. He needed his own. Like I did that. I didn't do that. Whatever it was, he would only check himself. I played like crap tonight. Or I played well, or we won this thing. I think LeBron does need validation. I absolutely do. I believe, which is why I think LeBron comes off passive aggressive at times, because I think he'll say something he might have kind of sort of meant, but then look at the reaction and then backpedal and then I didn't mean it like that. Whereas other people, hey, I'm the best, I'm the great. Well, what do you think about? I am the greatest. I don't care. Muhammad Ali. Well, what about I am the greatest? And LeBron does a lot of that. Well, I mean,
I don't even look at Ali the same way. That was selling fights. That was like the pre-fight stuff. That was what they used to do when it wasn't. People weren't getting $11 million, $15 million to have a fight. They used to have to sell tickets and drum.
You don't think he thought he was the greatest? I get what your point. If you sell boxing, you don't think he think he was the greatest?
No. But I'm saying that to me was a salesmanship that he was great at, and people love to hear from him. I'm not saying he didn't think he was a great fighter. His record and all the other things, he lost plenty of times. Like there's a lot of people can make a case against him and the rope-a-dope and getting beat and all that. So. Was he a great, iconic sports figure? No ifs, ands, or buts. But a lot of people can make a case that he wasn't the greatest fighter.
But that was my point of what I'm saying. What he was
doing was only selling the sport.
And that's what I'm saying. Is LeBron was like a Deion Sanders. Ain't nobody better than him. I'm probably the best athlete ever. I'm this because he's owning it. He's having fun with it. He's just
even
that's
Deion,
what he is.
Exactly.
And I'm saying LeBron. That's why I said I would be okay. I would like it if he just owned it. Don't backpedal. Don't make it weird. Just. If that's how you feel, say it. Own it. Say it with your chest. LeBron be doing that. Well, I didn't really mean it like that. Well, I was only saying it because of this. Well, I thought I was asked this way. If you feel that way, I ain't got a problem. If you're feeling froggy, leap. Say it. And another thing, let me ask you this. Do you think, me and Rob G were talking, and I said this to him, do you think Jordan, because I never had to really tell you, because like you mentioned earlier, like everybody said it, and like, if it was slightly more in question, do you think he would have said it more? Meaning like, circa 94, 5-ish when he was gone and kind of coming back, the greatest coming back, the greatest. And like it became a thing where we kind of knew. Yes, you would have some people who would say Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is, but most people were giving it to Jordan. So where I don't have to say nothing. Whereas LeBron, because most people are saying, MJ, I'm trying to sell you on this. You get what I'm saying? Like, do you think if it were a little closer with Jordan, he would
I just don't think Jordan has that in him.
I agree. I agree. That's why I was asking.
He's just not like that's not going to be who he is. I just can't see him saying that out of his mouth.
I think he just wanted to win, period. Cutthroat, I'm going to win at all costs, and let the chips fall where they may with all the other stuff.
And then everybody else will talk about that. You know,
agree.
the same thing. It's the idea. You make a movie or whatever, and there's critics and people going to look at it and say it's one of the greatest movies ever, or no, it didn't move me, it was terrible, or whatever. And you going out to push that or try to convince people, I just think it's a character flaw, to be honest, that you're going to proclaim that. I think
it's a deeper rooted thing. That's why I said
really
I think there's a validation thing that LeBron has. I 1,000% have said that for his entire career. You can tell there's a little bit of people pleaser. I want people to like me into him that I think people don't necessarily like, which is why they say, I wish he had more Kobe, more Jordan, more cutthroat, more I don't give a blank in him. I think that's a real thing.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369, where Michael Jordan's comments about the GOAT debate an indictment of LeBron James. It is The Odd Couple, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Stick and stay.
Unless you're an MJ fan in the US of A.
Steph Curry recently, obviously, he's going through it right now. He's got what they're calling runner's knee. He's been having some issues. He's going to be down some more as well. But recently, he had a conversation with People Magazine. They were talking about, just retirement and all that good stuff. And
He's making $60 million a year. He's like, I ain't giving that money out.
Essentially, you're right. But he said there, I'm nowhere close to hanging it up and calling it a career. And he said he's still got more to go. So that's the kind of conversation right now. We talking about LeBron. Will this be his last
not
goal?
His last year. LeBron.
I don't think so either. I think he's gonna do one more. I think it'll be Cleveland, Golden State. I mean, depending on how it ends with the Lakers. If it ends favorably, not to the championship, but let's say they're like, man, we might be better, and he takes a massive haircut. We're talking like, 7-8 million versus 50 million. It would be maybe, but I do think he'll have one more year. The conversations becomes talking about how much does Steph Curry have in the tank? And then if you're the Warriors, is there a point when you say we got to move on, right? We got to try to rebuild. We got to try to, start fresh. We're seeing a lot of teams. We off the air, we were talking about it. You got 10, 12 teams in the NBA tanking. They're all trying to get some of these fabulous freshman players and whatnot.
I know. My best friend just texted me.
What'd he say?
He said, stop it.
That's how you know it's bad.
I know it's bad.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you. Shout out to best friend. I've been telling him.
Thanks, friend.
Best friend. I've been trying to tell him. But I would put it like this, Rob. I do think Steph Curry's going to come back. If you watch him play, obviously he's got some knee issues right now. But Steph Curry still has a lot left in the tank. I mean, he's still, in any given night, he's the best player on the floor. Obviously, one of the best players ever. So I think he has a lot to play for. But I do believe that he's going to finish his career a Warrior. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I don't think, even if it's a year or two, they're like, oh, it's time to move on. Let's blow this thing up. They'll try to blow it up, but keep him. They'll try to rebuild, but keep him. I just think he's too connected. He means too much, and I think he himself wants to be there. I think he wants to have that Kobe Bryant kind of experience, have that Larry Bird kind of experience, Magic Johnson, where singularly when you think of said team, in this case Warriors, you think of Steph Curry. And I don't think he wants to have a Steph Curry to the Wizards, the Hornets type thing. And obviously I know he has that Charlotte connection growing up in that area, his dad being one of the more highly regarded Hornets. But I think he just wants to be a one team, one player. I think he's, absolutely going to do everything he can to stay there. And I think the organization is going to do everything they can to keep him there. And I do think he has a lot left in the tank. Now, the question will be, is he willing to play through the bad? Because you had a whole lot of good in your career, right? You started off, they were kind of slow. You had to get starting position over Monte Ellis. You got that. Then you guys ran off about 12 years of either winning championships or at least competing for one. You might have that Kobe Bryant experience. Kobe Bryant's career was great, right? Started off a little slow as a young guy coming out of high school. We didn't play them like high school guys that early. Next thing you know, he's always compete. Him and Shaq are in the finals. Then he comes back, him and Powell in the finals a bunch. But that last 3-4 years was rough for Kobe, right? It was injuries, no playoffs, number two pick happening, and it was rough. And you wonder, is Steph Curry ready for that? Because he's been blessed with a great, marvelous career, 4 rings, MVPs, all of that good stuff. But this is that stretch where, it kind of goes bad for some players, just that last little bit, that downhill portion of it. And I just wonder if he's built for that, Rob, where it's going to be tough. OKC ain't going anywhere. You don't expect Denver to go anywhere. The Spurs look like it's only going to get better. And then there's some young, nice teams coming out of the Eastern Conference as well.
If he sticks around, it's just money.
Yeah.
It can't be – he's won enough. His legacy is set. There's nothing else left unless you just want to play and hope that they'll keep giving you $60 million or what. You know what I mean? Seriously. Because to take the beating and go through a rebuild when as you just said, with all these young teams there out west, and they've tried. Steve Kerr, if he's going to be your coach while you're doing this, he doesn't develop any young players. So where are you getting it from? Draymond Green.
He's only going downhill,
exactly. He's an old battle
axe. And then they keep putting the rumors about LeBron going up there. It's like, that's not going to help. Like if you said and Edwards, it's okay.
Right. It doesn't even make sense. Like, are you going to add an old LeBron?
42 at that point. It won't make any sense. So I think
Andre said that. Did you hear the way he threw that in there?
Now, it might have been a Guinness. It might have been a St. Patrick's Day
LeBron's
Guinness.
going to Golden State. That's what everybody people say.
I just think, again, if this is the portion of his career where, again, he was, tremendous run. Right? Like I said, MVPs, multiple. You got 4 rings. You went to, a couple other and lost. So you had an amazing run and unheralded. Most guys don't get nearly the career that he's had. But sometimes you got to pay the piper. And on that back end, it might be rough. On that back end, it might be injuries. On that back end, it might be, 28, 32 win teams struggling, 10-game losing streaks, and it's just not great. And that's where he might be dealing with, to me, is that. But again, the love of the game, he's still incredibly good. He's still, when he's out there, he's still one of the best. He's still a top 15 player is when he's healthy, when he's playing. So I can see why he still feels like he has a bunch of the tank. And, shoot, you're looking at LeBron, keep pushing the scoring title and all these records he keeps getting because he's playing so long. I'm sure Steph wants to put some of his records that he may have a little further out there. 3-point record. He sees Knipple coming. Let me push these. Let me push these 3-point records and all this out there. So I expect him to play another couple of years for sure, and I expect him to remain a Warrior. I just don't see that marriage ending. I think he means too much to them, to that city, to that town, to that franchise. Fox Sports Radio, your boys, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Magic City Monday. We got Jimmy King, right, member of the Fab Five, getting ready to join us here in a handful of minutes. Good to chop it up with him. Looking forward to that. And by the way, if you're into video games, you got celebrities, if you like that or you just want to have a good time, well, the Global Gaming League is a video game league with celebrity-owned teams from T-Pain to Neo, competing in everything from Call of Duty to Tetris. So make sure you sign up and join the league now at globalgamingleague.com. You can do that there. All right, Rob, 877-99 on Fox. Take a couple calls. Michael Jordan recently said with Gayle King, CBS Mornings, that he said he doesn't really believe in a GOAT and that everybody kind of takes a little bit from each other and transcends the game and elevates the game. And Rob posed the question, is this an indictment on LeBron, who throughout his tenure has said that he is the GOAT from time to time? 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
Let's kick it off with City in Cleveland. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, City?
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Doing well, brother.
Long-time listener. I'm going to tell y'all this, though. Last time I called y'all a couple weeks ago, and I went with Rob. But before I got on the show, I was going against Rob. I got up there and got starstruck, just like Kevin said last time. But this time, I'm not going to do it. I'm coming for you, Rob. Of course it was an indictment on Michael Jordan was throwing a jab at LeBron. He's definitely throwing a jab at LeBron. But, you know, in this day and age, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got all these different things. I think the times just changed. Everybody right now in this day and age is all about me, selfies, taking pictures of yourself, getting likes, following people, getting friends. Everything is about promoting yourself.
You could do all that, but humility doesn't go out of style. I'm sorry, and there's a degree of humility that you don't need to do that, and that's all I'm saying. And I'll to the end of time, I don't care what social media you have, and you talked about it before. You're raising 3 daughters. When they're too high and mighty, or they think they right? Don't you say something as a parent? You let them know. No, we don't do that in the Washington household. That's not how we operate.
But if they were Simone Biles and they was talking that talk, or Asia Wilson, I wouldn't have a problem with it. By the way, dude, what was that? Why was I on the plane with Giannis? I meant to tell you that, Rob G. Why was I on the plane with Giannis going to Syracuse? Well, where was I going the first flight? Chicago. So maybe the Bulls were there. The Bucks were playing the Bulls. I don't know. Maybe you had to get back to Milwaukee by way of Chicago. Giannis walking around like he's not Giannis in the airport, trying to like duck his head a little bit. Maybe they won't recognize me. Giannis, you are Giannis. And then on my way back, why is Asia Wilson sitting at the airport? I was just cracking up like, okay, so some basketball goats are just hanging around with me. Oh, we're not hanging around with me, but just hanging around the airport. Yeah,
they're not
that was
basketball
crazy.
Goats, though.
I didn't. Well, she's in the running. She might be.
Dion in Texas. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dion?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope y'all had a good weekend. Match City Monday, loving it. Hey, look, man, last caller actually stole all my thunder, and I think Kelvin's kind of right. I just think it's the times have changed. You know, Rob was just saying this last week how a college basketball player can now reserve the right to go ahead and transfer. They're getting paid, and the coaches don't have that same authority. Back in the day, they did. So you had to just suck it up. Even if you transferred, you lost your eligibility. But times have changed. They don't lose anything. They get money, and they get to play right away.
But there's only one guy who's doing this. That's why I don't buy into it. It's only LeBron. It's only game. Name me somebody else.
But he's the only one pitted against. He's the only one. He's the only one pitted against. Kobe can't be the greatest. I know, but because you're a carbon copy, so you can't be better than the original.
Thanks,
so it comes down to LeBron.
So KD can't make an argument just past Jordan the other day.
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
no. There's only one person who you can have a legitimate argument whether you agree or not.
Did Kareem always push back and say, no, it was me? I never heard Kareem say that.
Kareem said that. I think Kareem has let people know.
No, he hasn't.
I'm serious. I think he said many times, y'all better stop leaving me out of these conversations.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, so I think that's why. I get your sentiment, but I think if you're asked every day.
It's about humility.
So if somebody was like, who's better, you or Kelvin, every day, what would you say?
Well, we already
know.
Hey,
Rob G, ain't no way he go, oh, man, I'm just here. You know, it is what it is. Everybody brings their own thing. You'll be like, what? Am I right?
No, you're not right.
You know you wouldn't wait for that question. They wouldn't even get to the question mark in the question before you would have that answer.
If they have to ask me to ask who is better, me or you, then I don't respect their opinion.
So it can't be me?
They're the ones who are listening. So they're the ones who have to decide who's better, not me.
I'm just, all right.
All right, you're listening to the show, so you should be the one to say who you like better. Rob brings more to the table. Rob has hard, strong takes.
Oh, wait, what? No, whoa.
I'm just
Come
saying.
on, Michael Jordan.
No,
take it easy.
No, I
don't want to hear all that. I want you to go, hey, everybody just is I don't know. We all transcend.
I'm giving you what they would say. That's not me.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Because I wouldn't say it.
That's why I had to LeBron you, and I'd have to tell them, I'm the GOAT. That's why I have to do you like that. All right, on the way, Jimmy King, member of the Fab Five, going to kick it with us right now. He is Steve DeSager. Going to get us settlements trending. Hey, Steve.
Hey there, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves, about to start up at Dallas. Yes, he's returning after missing 6 games with knee inflammation. Boston's Jason Tatum out tonight for rest. He was named Player of the Week in the Eastern Conference. In the West, Denver's Nikola Jokic won it. Boston's at Atlanta. The Hawks have won 15 of 17, and this game is tied at 54 in the final seconds before halftime. Jaylen Brown, 2 of 9 shooting for 6 points. He's returned after an Achilles injury. Early third quarter. Philadelphia leads 61-60 at Miami. The league's board approved the sale of the Portland Trailblazers. By the way, in the late game, Lakers will host Washington 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Lakers have won 14 of 16, but the Lakers' Luka Doncic is suspended for this game after getting his 16th technical of the season. In the women's NCAA regional finals, it's 1 seed Texas now up 50-27 on Michigan late in the third quarter in Fort Worth. The winner tonight meets UCLA this Friday. And in Sacramento later this evening, TCU against South Carolina. That winner goes up against number 1 UConn at the Final Four this Friday. NC State's new men's coach is Justin Gainey, Tennessee assistant and former Wolfpack player. Will Wade left to coach LSU again. Utah State's new coach is Ben Jacobson from Northern Iowa. Akron coach John Gross left for Charleston after Chris Mack just left for South Florida. The men's Final Four is this Saturday. The Crown Basketball Tournament in Vegas starts Wednesday on FS1. Among the 5 NHL games tonight, Islanders are hosting and leading the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 in the second period. Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl in 2029. This year's season will end with the Super Bowl in LA. To Major League Baseball, the Royals won their home opener 3-1 over Minnesota. Home opener for Arizona 0-3 later tonight, hosting Detroit. Currently, the Rangers lead 4-2 at Baltimore in the bottom of the 6th. The White Sox, including a grand slam, are up 9-3 at the Marlins in the bottom of the 6th. Nationals lead at Philadelphia 7-2 in the top of the 6th inning. And it's the Cubs over the Angels 6-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. And we got Jimmy King coming up here in just a little bit. Again, make sure you go check out the YouTube page. If you haven't already, we are on there. Shout out to Sagar. He's got us up right now, looking good up there. All you got to do is search the Odd Couple FSR, and you can find us up there as always. So make sure you go do that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Rob G, anything in the Odd Mob, in the YouTubians out there saying anything?
They're mean.
What? I mean, what is new?
They're all mean. I don't like them.
First of all, what do you think that is, Rob? You think they're like, I get the life, get away from the job, get away from work, kids drive me crazy, my lady getting on my nerves, I get to come on here and project onto them? Why are they always yelling at us? Why are they always mad at us? Rob G?
That's a good question. Now, some of it is related to the topic. Like we have one guy, this is No Kroll, says, you don't think MJ don't say he's the GOAT behind closed doors? Oh. Y'all saying the most competitive, egotistic competitor with killer instincts now has to be humble about who the best basketball player is?
Yes. Out in public, yes. And that's why he won't say it. Like, I don't think you have to say it.
I do believe that MJ has a old school Southern parents, raised in Carolina. Born in Brooklyn. They took him when he was like an hour old. Took him back to North Carolina. No, I think he
was born in Brooklyn. I think that's the same hospital as Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think that's a real thing. Like the parents and respect. You don't disrespect. I think that's a very real thing. So I know he burned it inside. Like I'm that guy. I'm the GOAT. But I do think there's a real thing to just paying homage and respecting elders. Absolutely believe that 1,000%.
Yeah, I don't think you need like certain things don't need to be said. I really don't.
I just know my thing is just if you're gonna say it, own it. Like completely own it. I totally get what you're saying. Like, but I'm saying if you're gonna say it, just own it. Be that. But he does the whole passive, and I don't mean it. I didn't mean it. I kind of said it. Well, I was feeling a certain way. That just if you're gonna say it, just say it with your chest and own it. All right, join now, Jimmy King, member of the Michigan Fab Five, Jimmy King 24 on X, of course. I was a young boy back in Ann Arbor in those days, so it meant a lot to me. Jimmy, what's going on, man?
What's happening, Jimmy?
What's happening, Kelvin? What's happening, Rob?
What's good, man? We're enjoying this March Madness. We got some crazy wins like UConn's over Duke. I know y'all no love lost with Duke for you guys, but what'd you make of that game and that ending?
That was a choke job, Jimmy. I don't see it any other way.
Well, it was a great ending for if you're a basketball fan, having the team go up nearly 20 points and then just the escalation to the ending and the way that it ended was just crazy, and that's why we love March Madness. Not just because it was Duke, but anybody, any team. We love to see the upsets. We love to see the Cinderellas, although we didn't have any really, but. That's what it's about, and that's what we love.
All right, I'm just going to cut to the chase. What's the difference between Dusty May and Juwan Howard? What's happened at Michigan where I know Juwan had some good start, and then things kind of seem to come undone and fall apart, and this guy shows up, and now look where they are. What's changed? Is it personnel or coaching style, or what's changed at Michigan?
Well, a couple of things. I think Juwan, going through the health issue, he came back too soon. I think he, just my opinion, should have taken that year off, because he wasn't healthy. But, moving forward, a couple of things changed. When they hired Dusty, who was a great hire and a great coach, the university committed to NIL. There was no commitment to NIL under Juwan's regime. So when they did that, and obviously you can see who they went out and got, is one thing, and then another to coach them up and to put them together so quickly with them, really just, playing together for under a year. That's the difference in what's happening with U of M. And, of course, they're well coached. Their coaching staff is great. I've met with them. I've been in their practices, many times. I text with Dusty and others through the coaching staff multiple times throughout the year. So, we're full support of him, and we love seeing what they're doing.
Let me keep it there in Michigan again. Michigan State, Tom Izzo. As we know, Tom Izzo hasn't won a national championship since Moby Dick was a guppy. But my question to you is, Jimmy, what do you make of the program? Okay, he, they always say he's Mr. March, but they win championships in April. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you look at that program? Seriously, it's been 26 years. That Izzo won in 2000. Are you shocked that, you know what I mean, he didn't get back to win another one in all these years, a quarter century? That's my question. Are you shocked by that, or no, he doesn't have the horses?
I am shocked a little bit that, because I think he's a great coach. I think, they have great teams. I just really think it's that difficult to win. We've seen other coaches have multiple championships, go to different teams, and do the same thing. I don't think that's an indictment on Coach Izzo. I mean, but
this is the pushback. Kevin Ollie shows up at UConn. He's there long enough to drink a cup of coffee and eat a sweet roll, and he won the same amount of championships as Tom Izzo.
Well, that's just how it goes. Who's to say that he was sniffed another one, or you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. We've seen them be successful. Like, we're watching them being successful currently, but we don't know under, anything to happen. Injuries, and maybe some, he gets pushed back for some of his players. We don't know. And so this, that's just, it's a lot of speculation. And coaching is one of the hardest things. Like, when I talk to, people out here, and they ask, hey, you coach? I was like, of course, I would. But however, that's, you really got to think about that. You moving your family, you rooting in the community. You could be coach of the year and get fired. So
that is true. We see that all the time in the NBA.
Right.
Hey,
yeah,
for sure. Hey, Jimmy King, our guest, member of Michigan Fab 5, one with the odd couple, Rob and Kelvin on the Magic City Monday. Let me go here. You mentioned you got to show up to Dusty May and the crew's practices. How great does that feel for you guys to be back, man? Like I said, I grew up in Ann Arbor. I saw you guys, rooted for you guys, and then all of a sudden the sanctions and all that, and it's just a bad, broken relationship for years. And now, however it's long as been, we see you back. We see Jalen. Juwan was the coach, and C. Webb is pulling up, and Ray and all that good stuff. So how great has that been, or just for you guys to be able to be back a part of it in the relationship you all have with them now?
It's great, and I think this is one thing that a lot of people may not really know about us, is that we really love Michigan. And so we're not showing up because they're having a great season. We want to show up to show that we actually support them. And because if we didn't, then that would be a whole nother speculation or, a whole nother conversation. But really, though, that's the reason why we went there. We love the Block M. We love the culture. We love what it represents. We love the education. We love that. That is what separated us in our minds. And one thing too is that everybody don't go to Michigan. You got to qualify. That's one thing that Juwan had some players that were coming. They were actually here but couldn't qualify, and they ended up going to other schools. So it's that prestige, that prestige and that that honor is something that is a part of the legacy that we want to be a part of and leave.
How about the Fab Five? To me, I remember talking to Perry Watson on the radio in Detroit, and Stoney thought he got me like a got you moment, and was like, Rob doesn't think the Fab Five was great, and Perry Watson said, we never won. You guys didn't win a Big Ten title. You didn't win. You went to 2 championship games the first 2 years. Right. When you look back at that, don't you feel like, man, like one of those you should have won. You could have won 2. Absolutely. That was one of the. Am I right? Like there's something missing there with the Fab Five.
Absolutely, absolutely no Big Ten. Like we had an opportunity to win a Big Ten our junior year and lost at home to Purdue and then on the road to Northwestern. Like that was one of the worst.
Yeah.
Feelings ever. And then to go to the championship and to lose, to Duke, really feeling like, we're upholding, the culture and the way that the basketball movement is kind of going with UNLV and against Duke, and now it's our turn, and then we lose to Duke.
Yeah.
And then we get the opportunity again, and then we lose to North Carolina, who we beat earlier that year for the Honolulu tournament championship. So, it sticks with you. I wouldn't say that we weren't great. We were good. We weren't the greatest, but we did play those games. We beat a lot of teams, and we represented that university well throughout this world and still today.
I'll tell you what, it was a blast to watch, man. All the best to you.
Jimmy, always a pleasure, my man.
For sure.
Always. I appreciate y'all, man. Much love.
No doubt. All right, Jimmy King 24 there for him. Go ahead and give him a follow. And some NBA news, a player has been released from his team speaking out and talking his religion and some other things. We'll tell you who and why. It's The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Rob G, your Lakers got a couple of good wins against the Rockets, and now some issues with the Rockets.
Yeah, it's not looking good if you're a Houston fan. Houston, we have a problem. Now, this time last week, they got blitzed by damn near 40 points by the Denver Nuggets. Then they come in, have a two back-to-back home games, a baseball series against the Lakers. Monday night, Kevin Durant couldn't dribble the ball to save his life, had 7 turnovers after the game, says, I am the offense. I got to get this stuff straightened out, whether it's space in the floor, dunker spot, whatever. So they come back last night in what is clearly the biggest game of their season because, when you're so tightly bunched like that in the Western Conference, every win right now matters against the team you're going head-to-head with in the standings. They're down double digits early. They fight all the way back, and they find a way to lose there again. Luka Doncic goes nuclear in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And late in the game, cameras caught the Houston Rockets huddle. Not a single person speaking, everybody staring off blankly into space. It just looked like the vibes are bad currently in Houston.
Because they didn't take care of business, which is they never replaced the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just amazed at it. And they go and get Durant. You know what I mean? They go put this team. Everybody thought, oh, my God, you add Durant to that team? Look what they did last year without him. You know, you're going to add this kind of a shooter and scorer, you know, like they're going to be a tough out. And now it looks like Kevin Durant, again, no matter where he goes, something doesn't work out. He went to Phoenix. Everybody said, oh, man, are you kidding? They went to the NBA Finals without him. Now they're going to add KD. You're not going to be able to stop them. Look at all the score. Let's go get Bradley Beal, too. You won't be able to stop them. They'll be able to score so many points. That didn't work out. It's just amazing. And maybe because his carpet bag that he puts down is in the way on the court, because he's just been everywhere. And it just blocks stuff. Because and this could be bad, again, for Kevin Durant. Because now you'll be at this point where everywhere you go, and I'm not acting like the injury is not a part of the equation, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is he's been bouncing from team to team to team to team, and everywhere he goes, they don't reach their potential. Something goes wrong. Something is a miss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is going to be the lasting thing that you think about Kevin Durant, especially. It's just I said it before. Kevin Durant is Raggedy Andy. You've heard of Raggedy Andy.
Raggedy Andy and Raggedy Andy?
Raggedy Andy. Like, that's what his track after leaving Golden State has been. Raggedy like the 405.
Dang. They working on it, though, Rob?
Like the 10 back in Detroit. Okay. The Lodge.
Ooh, the Lodge. Ooh, okay. What was the worst?
It's bad. Or like the
You're on a roll. What else we got?
Long Island Expressway in New York is bad.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Oh, yeah. I've been on it, but I couldn't recall.
There's too many freeways,
too many
highways over there. All right, but you get my point.
I do get your point. Well, I look at it like this. Couple things. One, we all knew Fred Van Vliet's absence was going to be big.
But they didn't do anything.
That's what makes me mad. Meaning you got the whole first half of the season to see what's what, who steps up. They got Shepard. A lot of people are high on him, and he's good. He's had some, but he's not Fred Van Vliet. And then towards the trade deadline, you thought, all right, well, obviously guys are playing well. Depending on what week it was, you were third or fourth or third in the standings. But you know what help you needed. You knew what you needed. You needed a scorer. You needed a guy, by the way, a shooter. We talk about the Pistons. They could use some perimeter shooting too. They're kind of similar to the Pistons, and they got all the athletes you want. Guys play hard, and they got their KD as a scorer. He's not Kay Cunningham at this point in his career, but they have something similar where they need some outside shooting. They need another bucket, and they never did it. And this isn't 27, 28-year-old KD where you can say, well, we got 3-4 more years, whatever. Like, you can't waste a year with KD and this team because KD is, again, at this age, you never know what you're going to get. So, to me, you don't want to waste a year with Kevin Durant when you have an opportunity to compete. Now, maybe you weren't going to beat the Thunder. Maybe you weren't going to beat the Spurs or Denver, but you never know, right? And maybe one of them knocks each other out or something crazy happens. So, you're supposed to be in there and having a chance to get to the finals. Now, I say that to say, if I'm Houston, I'm also saying, Rob, Kelvin, Rob G, chill, relax. Because you know who you don't have that same energy for, Rob G and Rob Parker? The Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, currently as we sit here, are 6th. They're behind the Rockets. And, you would be thinking, hey, they're not getting it. Nobody's talking about them. Everybody says, hey, you never know. Denver could give somebody a run, and Denver could do this. So I would be saying, we're fine. Let's find our groove. Let's get something going in order to, because at this point you can't get in. There's nobody out there you can replace Fred with. But that would be the silver lining. Would think you're a game or two away from jumping all the way back to 3rd. The Lakers are currently 3rd. But as Rob G mentioned, the West is so tight. I mean,
are you into video games, celebrities, or just a good time? The Global Gaming League is a video game league with celebrity-owned teams from T-Pain to Neo, competing in everything from Call of Duty to Tetris. Sign up and join the league now at globalgamingleague.com.
Fox Sports Radio, shout out to Jimmy King. Just joined us, man. That was pretty cool. You can get that up on the pod. Rob G will get that up in a minute. Don't let employee turnover slow down business. Express Employment Professionals finds the talent you need to keep productivity on track. From the warehouse to the front office, Express staffs all jobs. Visit expresspros.com today. And now it is time for the Express Pro of the Week. The Pro of the Week goes to Celtics forward Jason Tatum, not Jaylen Brown. No Derek White, no problem. Tatum had 32 points, 8 assists on Sunday in a win over the Hornets. So, again, congrats to Jason Tatum for being our Express Pro of the Week. Got a good one going on right now. Just started the second half, 59-58. Celtics up 1 on the Hawks in Atlanta. So, good one going on there. All right, some NBA news as well. Rob G, someone released from the Bulls, Jaden Ivey to be specific, for some conversations and thoughts that he had on his, I believe, his IG page.
Yes, sir. And what's officially being called conduct detrimental to the team, the Bulls have waived guard Jaden Ivey, former Piston, in light of some recent comments he made about the NBA celebrating Pride Month on his IG Live. Take a listen.
That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month in the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness.
Your reaction?
Yeah, my reaction is first and foremost, I think we would be having a slightly different conversation if Jaden Ivey was an all-star for the Bulls. I think the Bulls would say, oh, Jaden Ivey, we didn't agree with his comments. We're going to chat with him, and we understand and we respect faith, but we just wish that blah, 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 blah. I absolutely think you would get that if Jaden Ivey was giving you 22, 23 a night, and he was an all-star for them. This is not the case. You know what Jaden Ivey's been doing? He ain't played since mid-February. And so I think this makes an easy way for them that they got some backlash, and then for them to be like, all right, cool, it's easy to get rid of him. So that's the first part of it I heard immediately. Now, the other side of this is when you are proclaiming your faith, you already know I proclaim my faith as a Christian man, but when you go out and you speak and you do things like this, whether people agree or not, you have to be prepared for consequences. It's absolutely freedom of speech. You can say what you want, but when you have employers that have the little far down that says misconduct rules and things that are detrimental to the team or the organization, that is something they may use or they may not.
But people,
and so then my last point. So that is, you have to be prepared. I use the example all the time of Colin Kaepernick. When he stood on business, a lot of people agreed with him. A lot of Americans were with him. Some people weren't. And the consequences when you stand on it are Muhammad Ali, you can't box. You end up, it's outrageous, but that's what happened. Colin Kaepernick, the league is like, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And sometimes when you're standing on what you believe in, you have to then realize there may also be consequences with that. But a lot of people are saying what happened to freedom of speech both ways in this.
But here's the argument.
Mm-hmm.
There is freedom of speech is only against the government, that you can't speak out against the government and not be put in jail. That's your freedom. You don't have freedom of speech when you work for people. So can we stop with the freedom of speech, right? It's not true. That's not what you're protected by.
No, you do have freedom of speech. You don't have that. There can be consequences.
There's no protection. I'm saying against the government, there's a protection, but not when you work for somebody else. I'm not surprised he's not playing. The last thing you want is a distraction. For what reason? And that doesn't mean that you disagree with something or you have your own faith, but it doesn't mean you have to go and bash other people. You don't have to do that. That's not what you choose to do. If you don't want to celebrate Pride, you don't have to celebrate Pride. Nobody's making you celebrate Pride. But my only issue is people, when you work for other people and he has Chicago across his chest.
And a little NBA logo.
An NBA logo. When you sign that paper to work for them, guess what? You can't do anything that's going to interrupt, bother, destroy, damage those logos and things that you have agreed to sign for.
But this goes back
how it is.
This goes back to the Magic City conversation. And this is why I sat here and said I'm shocked that the NBA will be okay with that. Because again, plenty of people enjoy it. Clearly, I've been in Atlanta a gazillion times. I know how people love Magic City. But my point was, as an NBA, at the end of the day, It was a strip club, and you could have fans and families who are saying, I'm offended by that. So this is, I could see why, again, when the NBA is trying to protect themselves and or teams in this case, the Bulls, trying to protect themselves, they're going to do that. But again, he put out there how he felt, and they can respond how they were going to respond, but it would have been, if he was an all-star, I don't think they would have responded the same way.
It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not going to see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion.
Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm going to go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in, and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys.
They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
In women's NCAA regional final action, 1-seed Texas leads 74-36 over Michigan with about 2.5 minutes to go. Longhorns will meet UCLA this Friday. Next up in Sacramento tonight, it's TCU against South Carolina. The winner faces number 1 UConn at the Final Four. NC State's new men's coach is Justin Gainey, Tennessee assistant. To the NBA, final minute of the third quarter at Miami. The Heat ahead of Philadelphia, 87-81. Atlanta at home ahead of the Celtics, 77-68 mid-third quarter. Boston's Jason Tatum is out tonight for rest. He was named Player of the Week in the East today. The Hawks have won 15 of their last 17. And at San Antonio, late first half, 51-43 Spurs over the Bulls. Victor Wembanyama, 12 points, 11 rebounds so far. Baseball today, the Royals beat Minnesota 3-1. I'm Steve DeSager.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3 on a Magic City Monday. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. It is the Odd Couple in full effect. Be sure to check out our brand new YouTube channel. Man, we appreciate you. Our numbers are good. They can be great. If more people subscribe, continue to subscribe. Right. All you have to do is check us out. Go to search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Again, that's Odd Couple FSR. And hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. Let your family and friends know. All they have to do is search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. A lot more to do in the final hour of the program, including I want to give some flowers and applaud Charles Barkley for some of his commentary.
That's fantastic, Rob.
That he had during March Madness on Sunday. Also, last call, in case you weren't able to get in to the program, you'll be able to do that and comment as well. So a lot to get to in hour number 2.
That's right. We were talking about, again, collapse, comeback, however you slice it. UConn moves on. Now they're in the Final Four again. It was the third time in the last 4 years. Obviously, they're competing, try to make it 3 titles for Dan Hurley in the last 4 years if they were able to get that done. Rob G, UConn has been on a run with Coach Hurley and even really since 99.
Yeah, I mean, this run that they've been on is historic. In fact, if they're able to cut down the nets again here in about a week, UConn will have had 3 national championships in 4 seasons. That would make that 7 overall, past North Carolina for third place all time, trailing only UCLA and Kentucky. And they'd be the first team since UCLA, John Wooden, Kareem and those boys to win 3 chips in 4 seasons. As a result, the bettors are all in on UConn, despite them being the underdogs overall this Final Four. Everybody's all aboard the Dan Hurley train. Go Huskies.
Until it crashes.
Well, I'm just going to say this. At some point, we have to have some conversations that this is basketball U. When you look at what this place has done since 99, you're talking 6 titles, which will be one thing, right? Because, okay, well, Coach K's got 5 or so. They got 6 with 3 different coaches. Calhoun had 3, 99, 04, 11. Ollie got 14, 23, 25. Hurley with a chance to possibly make it 7 this year. We'll have to wait and see.
Don't count the chickens before
I'm
they
saying,
hatch.
with a chance.
Yeah.
We have to wait and see.
Because I can't remember who else we had that we were ready to crown somebody. I can't remember, and didn't work out.
6 rings for them since 1999, Rob. Not ever, right? There are schools with 5 or 6 in the entirety of the school. 6 since 1999 is crazy. That's like a Patriots run. That's like a Spurs run. And obviously a Bulls run. And then, not to mention, if you add the women with 12, that is basketball university right there. You got wide receiver U at LSU and a running back U at Alabama in football. That is absolutely basketball royalty, basketball U now UConn has been. And I know we got the Blue Bloods, and I'm not saying they disappear in UNC and the Kansas.
No one will buy into UConn as a Blue Blood.
But they are the new blood. 1,000% the new blood, because you can't talk about college basketball without talking about their women's team and now their men's team, who has won 6 since 1999, not 1929. Since 1999 is crazy. Almost since the turn of the century, they have won 6, going for 7. That is absolutely remarkable. And again, it's like, man, we talk about the Dukes, we talk about North Carolina, we talk about Kansas, Kentucky. Well, Kentucky has, I believe it's 6 right now they're sitting on, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they've won like 2 in the last 30-something, 40 years. So a lot of these schools that we deem as Blue Bloods, they've won 1, they've won 2.
But it has nothing to do with winning. That's not what Blue Blood means. It just means that you've been around for a long time.
I'm not mad at that.
That's like Ivy League.
I'm not saying
winning doesn't have anything to do about being a Blue Blood. And that's why UConn's not a Blue Blood, no matter how many they win.
That's why I said they are the new blood. They are the basketball university. Period. They are the best school in basketball.
The women's program for sure.
Oh, that isn't. It's almost not fun at this point because it's just you almost like here, just give it to them. And it looks like this year they could be doing the same thing again. Looks like
they haven't lost.
No,
right?
Not too much can stand in their way.
I don't follow them, but I know that they were 35-0 at one point.
They're insane. He had some other team. Dawn Staley got in there. LSU got in the mix, and obviously back in the day, Tennessee would have something to say here or there.
With Pat Summitt.
Yeah, Pat Summitt, rest in peace. But overall, what Gino's been able to do is incredible. So I'm watching Dan Hurley, and then I'm like, oh, wow, this game hits the game what Mullen does. And I'm thinking, man, the big thing I give them credit for, Rob, is the different coaches. Because we know you get a coach, we talk about all the time. Boeheim was there, 50 years, and Izzo 35, and Coach K, I think 45. And all these guys have been in places for so long. Dean Smith, all these years. For them to say it wasn't just Calhoun, right? We don't have all of ours because of one guy. For Kevin Ollie to catch 1, for Hurley to catch 2, I mean, that is just remarkable. And then, like I said, you throw in Gino. So I believe they are officially school of basketball for the last 3 decades, and it's been remarkable what they've been able to do. And we might have to start putting them past some people, period. Like, I know Blue Bloods because you were there first, but, dude, what they've been able to do is remarkable.
I still don't think that they're going to pass the Blue Bloods because, again, it has nothing to do with winning. Those schools were just long history and been around for a long time. I think what hurts UConn is that it has been 3 different coaches. So it's not like somebody got a program like Gino you talk about who's been there, you know what I mean, and built this thing, and they have a consistency. What Kevin Ollie did is not what Dan Hurley does. So it's not like there's some exact formula or program that means you're doing UConn basketball a certain way for all these years and you've won. That's the different part, which is weird that they've won that often, but with 3 different coaches.
You don't think that's a compliment, though? Like that this school is so good at what we do?
I don't think it's a UConn way. I don't. I don't think that there's a particular way is what Jim Calhoun and Kevin Ollie to Dan Hurley. I don't see them as the same in any form stretch. Even though they coach at the same school and they've had different players and they've won, even Calhoun, what was it? You just said the years.
Yeah, it was 99, 04, and 11.
Yeah, 7 years later, you know what I mean? And it's spread out, but they continue to win. And it depends. I mean, obviously, if they win this 3 out of 4, then you got a conversation about Dan Hurley. If he loses, and he has the 2, and we'll see where that goes, then they have a fine program. I'm just saying it is very weird that anybody can come in and seem to win at UConn, where usually it's a long-standing
And I
coach.
think that's why I'm giving them credit. I get your point, right? It's been the Coach K, and Shire hasn't been able to get it done.
Hubert Davis couldn't get it done. This is what I'm trying to say. Is like,
But that's, to me, what makes the program amazing is that we have a system. We have a way about it. We have
but I don't know if
recruits.
they do. I don't know if they really
But I'm
have
almost
a system.
saying it has to be in the sense that now it's been multiple coaches. And then on the other side with the ladies, they've won 12.
But we're not. The
so
ladies
it's just,
are different.
I'm just saying the school as a whole has become basketball U. When you want to go win a championship, you want a shot, male or female, go to UConn. And you got a shot. Because since 99, you got a chance on the male side to win 6, maybe 7 this year if they do it. And you got 12 on the women during Gino's run. So I'm just saying, it's almost like Suge Knight said, if you want to producer that ain't all in the videos, dancing. Come to Death Row. That's what UConn is Death Row now, circa the mid-'90s.
I'm still taking, and my point would be, I'm still taking UCLA. I'm still taking Duke.
UCL
I'm still taking North Carolina over UConn. Any day of the week, I still would buy into those brands and be a part of that tradition.
UCL who?
Then UConn.
And I love the school. I live out here. My daughters win. I'd love it. But
I'm just that's where I'm at. I'm not buying into UConn is the basketball universe. I'm not buying into that. I don't care. The Knicks haven't won a championship since Moby Dick was a guppy. Everybody still looks at Madison Square Garden as the mecca
to go play to go stun on the Knicks.
No,
yes.
but it hasn't been diminished because they haven't won a championship.
I agree. It is the stage.
But those programs have not been diminished either just because UConn has had success.
For sure.
I don't know if you've ever been to Stores, Connecticut.
It's more of a big.
Have you been there?
Mm-mm.
There's nothing.
I've just been to New Haven and obviously
nobody's been to Stores unless you go to college there.
Right. I was like Syracuse the other day. I was like, this just straight up Syracuse University runs everything.
There.
It is the university. Everywhere you go, 10% off there for students, 10% off that. Don't forget this, Syracuse. School this. Like, the school clearly runs it. Obviously, me growing up in Ann Arbor, I totally get that with Michigan there. Rob G, do you disagree with me that we have to just basketball university is now UConn at this point?
I don't even think it's a question at this point. Because all the other schools, and I'm a UCLA fan, it's all living in the past. There's nothing.
It's all Wooden in the pyramid. Shout out to John Wooden.
In terms of what we're doing now, it's UConn and everybody else. And it maybe because they don't have the sexy number 1 overall picks like Cooper Flagg, Cam Boozer, Jason Tatum like Duke does, or
I think that plays a role.
Yeah,
There's no real trail in the NBA.
There really isn't.
Rip Hamilton is probably their best player in the last 25,
And if we're
30 years.
talking about NBA pedigree,
that counts. That counts.
But I thought that it was about short menu wins and losses.
No,
and nobody wins at a higher clip than UConn.
No, but I'm talking about UConn can win at a high clip. That doesn't mean people are going to say, "Oh yeah, I'd take them over UCLA." And I know it's ancient history. You could talk about all you want. But their history is not going to go away. Like what they were able to accomplish in a different era where freshmen didn't play. Kareem didn't play his freshman year, or Bill Walton, or to be able to win at that clip during that time when I think you probably have way more great players who played 4 years and teams that were built. Now you catch a team now, right, where 1 year they're together. And then I'm talking about the big schools. Uh-huh. The big schools lose players where UConn, maybe they get to hold on to those guys for 2 or 3 years. They have a big advantage.
I think there is a Tom Izzo approach of like, I don't want that sexy number 1 pick. I don't want Devonta.
That's it.
Who's going to dip. That's what I mean about the program. Let me go get these guys who are going to stick around a little bit.
It's not that. It's that maybe they can't get them either.
And that might be to their bit.
I'm saying.
There might be something to that where like maybe – and I just told Rob,
I got a chance to go to Duke, North Carolina, or UConn. No, I'm dead serious. If you're a basketball and they're talking about basketball, there's no way you're picking UConn.
Do I want to shine or do I want to win?
No, I want to play.
If I want to shine, then I'm. But at this point, Rob, you might start getting guys to go to Arkansas. Acuff Jr., Devonta. You might get guys start going.
That's money though. I'm just talking about.
That's what I'm saying. The bread is out there now. Teams are.
But I'm just talking about if you said all things.
I'm going to North Carolina because the shoe package is going to be crazy.
I could go to North Carolina, Duke, or UConn.
The shoes are going to be crazy in North Carolina. But yeah, I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, man, UConn is really just where you win in basketball. Men, women, 6 rings, 12 rings, and who knows, might be 7 in the next week or so. So I'm blown away by what they've been able to accomplish since 1999. That's an amazing run that they've been able to do.
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Is UConn a preeminent program in college basketball right now? Kelvin has his pom-poms. He says yes. I say no. We'll continue that conversation next. It is the Odd Couple where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Stick and stay.
America.
LeBron may have put his foot in his mouth once again. Take a listen.
Playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. You know, it's a lot of soft tissue injuries that's happened now because of it.
Straight, Boulder Dash, Poppycock. I mean, come on. Like LeBron, this is where people push away. You know, when you hear this and he's trying to justify and whatnot. We get the injuries and what's going on. People used to get injured there, and it was different defensively. But, Rob G., you did the research, right? Or you found out. You got them, too.
I got the numbers.
And the numbers just don't add up for LeBron, and that's the issue. And that's what we talk about. When you listen to these terrible podcasts and there's nobody there to push back and say, well, that's interesting, LeBron, because back in so-and-so, it's the same, and you're saying you're playing differently. What you got?
Man, let me tell you. You're right, because he is absolutely right what he said. It was
that's why I want
different.
to talk to Rob G. Then.
I got the numbers. No, I'm saying he's absolutely right, and that the 80s and 90s was way harder to play in, way more difficult to play in.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, because listen, let's talk about the numbers. First of all, LeBron typically. He can be this. He can be polarizing. He can be passive-aggressive. One of the things he normally is very astute when it comes to basketball. His acumen, he knows he's a historian. That's one of the things I appreciate.
How do you say that when he voted for Bronny for the All-Star game?
Well, that's his son. You know what I mean? Nepotism, cronyism.
Yes.
You got to get that done. But, he usually is very well-studied, historically, knows the game. That's one of the things you can at least appreciate about him. This one, he's dead wrong in my opinion for multiple reasons. Number one.
Are we recording this?
The 80s was the absolute, to me, hybrid of the two. You got the fast pace, and he's talking about pacing. Let's talk about the pacing. In the 80s, it was the fastest. In fact, the only pace that they had was 1 year, 87 to 88, when they had a slower pace. They were at 99.6, which the current pace is at 99.6. After that, you're talking 100.6 to 102.1.
Did he ever watch Showtime?
Showtime. The Celtics, the Pistons, the 76ers with Dr. J, Houston with the Hakeem and Ralph Sampson. The Nuggets, they were going back in the day.
The Nuggets would score 175 points on a regular basis. Yes.
Watch
Alex
this.
English and all those guys. Yes.
Kiki Vanderway. Not only were they playing at a higher pace, what else would you see? Punches, clotheslines, and hard fouls.
And they were physical. You come into the lane, guess what? You're going to get a two-piece and a biscuit.
So they are playing at a faster pace, way more physical. They didn't have commercial airlines. They did not have the advanced medicine and nutrition that they have right now.
They used to ride next to me on the plane.
Literally.
When I covered the NBA back then, NBA players sat next to me. We were on commercial flights. Yep. We took 6 a.m. flights out of every city. Mm-hmm. Like that was an NBA rule because back then you didn't come back home and get in your own bed. You would go on a road trip.
Yep.
And you would stay on the road and you would fly to the next city and we would be on those flights.
Exactly. So the idea that, it's just so hard now. All y'all do is go 35 feet out and set pick and rolls. Now, if you want to talk about soft tissue issues and why guys are beat up and brutal, I tell you why, and I've been telling this since the duration of me on this show. It's that they only play basketball since they were 6. And that's all they do. And they're playing for their team. They're playing for the travel league. They're playing AAU. Then they play for this team.
That's not what people did. They played all sports.
They played all sports. How many times we hear about guys playing football, baseball, basketball? Oh, I didn't really lock into basketball until my freshman year because the other years I was playing this. Or in high school, I had to decide which one am I going to finally commit to because I played all of these sports. That's the issue why guys are beat down, wore out. That's why LaMelo Ball is always injured, and Lonzo Ball is always injured, and Zion's always injured.
And they played 1 million games on the AAU circuit on the weekend.
6 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday.
Ridiculous.
Then I go back to my regular team, and I'm playing too much. But the idea that they're playing faster pace and it's harder. Yeah, right. You have everything catered to you. The best medicine, best nutrition, best travel, best doctors.
I don't remember any masseuses traveling when I was covering the NBA in the 80s. I don't even remember. There was some fat guy in there rubbing you down after a game.
That's about the best you got. What was the dude with the Pistons for all those 30, 40 years? What was his name? Mike
Abdenauer.
Abdenauer, exactly.
That's a good call for you. Very good. Mike Abdenauer.
Yeah. So I'm blown away with this one, LeBron. It's a big miss because they played at a faster pace throughout the duration of the 80s. They play much more physical basketball. They didn't have the advancement of medicine and technology. So I don't get where he's going. Okay. What else? Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple, Rob, Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. TNA Thursday Night Impact every week. Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total nonstop action as you watch your favorite TNA wrestling stars. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Rob and I will take a few calls. I just think it's new blood, maybe not the blue blood. It's the new blood, and UConn is basketball U, point blank, period. Rob says no. Still thinks it's some of the other schools, UCLA, UNC. What say you? 877-99 on Fox. What we got?
Tim, Chili Tim in Atlanta. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Chili?
What's up, Rob? What up, Kelvin? How you guys doing?
I know where you went to school, Chili. What you got to say, Chili?
What's up, buddy?
Get to it, Chili.
Well, I will say this, like, and I can speak just for Duke, Carolina, and UCLA, right? I'll start with Carolina first. You look at the coaches they've had. They had Dean Smith, Bill Guthridge, Matt Doherty, Roy Williams, Hubert Davis. What's the connection there? They've all either coached or played, right? Duke, John Shire, he's a Duke guy. I think Johnny Dawkins would have maybe got the job, but he was tired of waiting on Krzyzewski to leave. UCLA with Walt Hazard, Steve Alford,
and even Tommy Amaker, we thought was going to get that job too.
Yeah, we thought Tommy Amaker was a good job, but he again. So it's like
Coach K gave him the Ziggy.
Yeah, he gave me Ziggy. But when I heard you say the UConn way, that's when I kind of like, well, the way is like a theme or where it has to be like long-term success that's embedded and passed from coach to coach or player, and I think. With UConn, I get it, and they've been a good program. I'm not going to deny that, but like Rob said, those three coaches really don't have anything in common. They're all kind of different styles, and so it may not be the UConn way. Maybe it's just been fortunate and good timing, which sometimes that's what it takes to win in college basketball and March Madness. But when you start talking about sustained success and being passed down in tradition. Because that's what makes blue bloods in any sport. It's the tradition of it, not just
It's not just winning. It's not.
Tradition plays a part. It has to be a part of the tradition as well.
I just fell asleep on both of y'all right now. All I know is they've been winning. That's the tradition there.
No,
Chili?
it's not about just winning. Dwight in Nashville. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dwight?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
I think Kelvin's on to something, man. UConn, listen to me, 6 titles, 26 or 25 years. That averages out to about every 4.3 years, UConn's taking home the gold. So I think it's on to something, and it's not about the coaches. Maybe it's the athletic director. Who the heck knows? But these guys, you're right, dude. This is basketball. basketball U.
Yep. And
every 4.3 years they're taking home the gold.
Hey, basically you can tell them.
That's just the men.
You can say, hey, come here for 4 years. Dang it, you got a shot at winning.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are staying together. Those teams, those UConn teams are staying together those 3 and 4 years, ever increasing that cohesiveness of that team, where, and they're taking home the gold. I mean, you can't deny them that. And, Rob, I know you're talking about UCLA, man. Dude, that's 60 years ago, man. Let that go, bro. Let that go.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man.
You let it go. Drew in New Jersey, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
It's unique to Dan Hurley. I know a couple of days ago they talked about the coaching. I know you said the coaching style, you can't coach everyone the same, like the old school coach.
It worked well for Tom Izzo, right? Izzo.
But Dan, the one thing I will say is, if you watch every single one of his instances, where is Dan Hurley directing his anger at, and what's the difference between him and Tom Izzo? The difference is Tom Izzo directs it at his players. Dan Hurley directs it at
but they co-signed about coaching hard and how the kids are soft. That's what they both co-signed.
It has nothing. But what?
No, that's not. I'm just giving you what they co-signed was about that. That's what they co-signed.
No, but just to be fair, where do you see most of his lashing out at?
No, but that's not. It wasn't about him lashing out at officials. He's a big baby. He's like Luka. He complains about everything. It's so unappealing to watch.
Does that hurt recruiting?
I'm just telling you.
Recruiting. I think that if you direct it differently, it's directed differently.
I'm just telling you what I watched from Dan Hurley.
So I'm trying to understand.
Don't you remember the fuss he made in Hawaii?
He has some.
Don't you remember that in Hawaii?
I guess we just won't come back. No, he got some baby in him at times.
But I don't think that hurts you recruiting.
That's not. But we're not talking. I didn't talk about recruiting. I'm just talking about.
I think his teams are different too. Like if you look at how Duke is assembled, they're very star-oriented. Dan Hurley puts his teams together just like his dad, Bobby Hurley, as far as you don't have high-volume players. It's just everybody, you'll have 10 people in double figures.
Yeah.
And very team-oriented, just like St. Anthony? Is that what Bobby Hurley coached at?
I think so, yeah. He's there 50 year, whatever it was,
Yeah, just like the St. Anthony teams.
No doubt. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right. We got more
on the work for Bobby Hurley, though, right?
What's that? Oh, yeah. Bobby, it didn't work for him. Okay. Just him, the player, but not him, the coach. All right, Charles Barkley has something that you enjoy. We'll talk about that on the other side of Trending right now. Here is Steve DeSegre.
Hello. In the women's NCAA regional finals, Texas led Michigan 69-29.
Nobody asked you, Steve.
Tonight. Just deal with facts here at the news desk. And in Fort Worth, the final 77-41. Texas meets UCLA this Friday. Meanwhile, TCU underway against South Carolina, a 1 seed. That's in Sacramento, 12-6 TCU early. That winner faces number 1 and undefeated UConn at the Final Four this Friday. NC State's new men's coach is Justin Gainey, Tennessee assistant. Utah State's new coach, Ben Jacobson from Northern Iowa. Akron coach John Gross left for Charleston. The men's Final Four is this Saturday. As for the NBA scoreboard, 4 minutes to go. Philadelphia has taken the lead at Miami, 104-101. Tyrese Maxey, after a slow start, 23 points for Philly. Boston does not have Jason Tatum tonight. He's being rested. He was named Player of the Week in the East today. Atlanta's up 95-77 over the Celtics with under 10 minutes to go. For Phoenix, 29 points for Devin Booker. Suns lead at Memphis, 76-72 in the third quarter. And at San Antonio, the Spurs, who have won 24 of 26, are leading Chicago 71-55 early in the third. Victor Wembanyama already 28 points and 12 rebounds in this game. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards has returned tonight after missing 6 games with knee inflammation. Anthony Edwards off the bench with 7 points. Timberwolves lead at Dallas 51-40 late in the second quarter. Among the 5 NHL games, it's a 7-3 Penguins lead at the Islanders with about 8 minutes to go. To baseball, top of the 9th inning, the Nationals are leading 10-2 at Philadelphia. Rockies up 9-1 at Toronto, top of the 7th. The Blue Jays record 3-0 so far. Braves are shutting out the A's 4-0 bottom of the 8th. The A's are right now 0-3, and the Cubs are shutting out the Angels 6-0, top of the 7th, just one hit for the Halos. The White Sox were 0-3, but got a 9-4 win at Miami. Miguel Vargas, 6 RBIs, including a grand slam. On FS1 tonight, the Reds shut out Pittsburgh 2-0. By the way, Reds lefty Nick Lodolo with the blister will pitch a rehab assignment on Thursday. Texas has won 5-2 at Baltimore, and the Royals won their home opener today, 3-1 over Minnesota. Back to you.
Steve, have a great night. Thank you so much. Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on to Magic City Monday. Last call coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. So if you didn't get in on that, we'll have that coming up in a little bit. Rob G, Chuck, Charles Barkley has some things to say. Of course, he's on the call, or not on the call, but he's in the studio for March Madness and has some thoughts regarding some of the players on UConn.
Yeah, he went viral in a big way on Sunday before the game, actually. This was before the miracle win by UConn. CBS aired a segment on UConn star Alex Karaban and his family, who immigrated to the U.S. from the Ukraine and Belarus in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And Chuck, after this segment aired, took a moment to express his thoughts on something that's a little bit bigger than basketball.
The way some of these other immigrants are getting treated in our country right now is a travesty and a disgrace. I think there's a difference between amazing immigrants and criminal immigrants. And I think what's going on in our country, what we're doing to some of these amazing immigrants, is really unfortunate and it's really sad.
You know what? It was easy for him to not go there. It's just easy. It's basketball, right? You don't have to do that. I appreciated Charles Barkley. That's what makes him one of the best, is that he's not afraid to talk about something that's relevant, and he knows what's going on in the country. He's not turning a blind eye to it. And he's right. Like, there are plenty of immigrants who have done great things. This nation was built on the backs of a lot of immigrants and people from elsewhere. And it just was a nice touch. He didn't make it wasn't a political speech. It wasn't anything like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure there are plenty of people who don't want to hear it, about immigrants or whatever, which is fine. But for Charles to take the time to have that conversation at that point in that situation, to recognize that this player's parents are immigrants, and without them, he wouldn't be here, right? And he wouldn't be able to take part in that. And I think it was a nice way to remember something that has been really rough, and especially for me, I've been really affected just watching what went on here in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? I'm from New York, originally lived in Detroit. Like what I saw people go through here, and I'm not saying it's over, but terrorized. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all. I thought Charles did a nice job. He said it the right way. He wasn't angry. He just was making a point that I thought was refreshing.
And I think here's where it becomes challenging. I do news in the morning, and when you start to look at the data, this is where a lot of people would say they have some issues. So they were sold as, so many of them are, what do you hear all the time? They're criminals, they're this, they're that, they're violent, they're criminals, they're rapists, they're gang members, they're that. Well, 74% of the individuals in ICE detention have no criminal convictions. And watch this. And less than 14% of ICE arrests involves people with violent criminals. So most of even the ones in that 24, 25, 26%, it's little thing. Didn't pay a ticket here.
Right. It's not
didn't
right.
do that here. Only 14% or less than 14% actually have violence. So criminals. So you're being sold as if all of these people are, and that's
bad people.
Bad people, and that's not the case. 40% of them have no criminal records at all. So they're just being grabbed up. And I think that's what's challenging so many people is that what they're being sold on. And less than 2% of those arrested, Rob, less than 2% that have been arrested by ICE were identified as having gang affiliations. So this is why so many people are outraged. This is why so many people are confused. This is why so many people who are immigrant Americans who have green cards or folks who have been working here, have visas, whatnot, are confused. They're like, I've been here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Some cases,
I've kept
50
my
years.
nose clean.
Nose clean, family, job, kids are in school.
Pay taxes.
There's a story, we had a guest on who his father went viral because he got rounded up and he was kind of run away, and the police roughed him up, and he got arrested. And his son, all three of his sons, who are like, say, between the ages of like 19, 20-ish to like 26, were all in the military, American. They all served the country, and they're like, we're serving our country and whatnot, and our father's being detained. And he ended up getting let off because of all the media that came about it. But that's why a lot of people are feeling that way, and including a Charles Barkley. And again, Charles Barkley has never been one to shy away from something, whether it's something funny, whether it's something serious, whatever is on his mind. You and I try to have that same approach in the sense of we're going to talk about things that are happening in the world and things that are happening in the sports world, even if they're deemed as political or deemed as controversial, deemed as
I just thought it was human. I don't even look at it as political. I really didn't. Like I know that it has political implications because Trump ran on that as a platform, but I just thought Charles Barkley's tone was right. I just thought it sounded great. Like he's just saying, like there are all these other stories here, man. Like let's recognize them.
I mean, if you just all you have to do, to your point, is just if you're a student of America. We talked about, why did we talk about it last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. But aside from the indigenous people, everybody here immigrant, and there's a whole bunch of people who didn't want to be here, got slavery, were taken here.
That's always that. Like whenever I see videos of people saying go back to where you're from or whatever, I look at that and I think seriously, like it's mind-boggling. Can you imagine Native Americans standing on the corner? Go back to where you came from. Get back on that boat and go back to Italy or go back to France or go back to what's
Great Britain anyway.
Yeah, go back to Great Britain. Like the arrogance of it is mind-boggling to me.
And I think that's people forget. Like we talk about it. And it's so obvious to other people that none of us are indigenous to this country. Again, you're either forced here or many are immigrated here. So but that
I told you before, like. You can say whatever you want about Australia, and I love their definition of Australia Day. I was there during Australia Day, their holiday. Mm-hmm. You would think Australia Day meant the day that Australia was discovered, right? That's what usually you celebrate.
Right.
No. It's the day the white man arrived. That's what they're celebrating, not that they discovered Australia, because people already lived there.
Aborigines.
And so I respect the idea that even you acknowledge the Aborigines were already there. You can't discover a place that people were already living.
Well, you're looking at me. What you want me to say? I thought it seemed pretty simple to me, but it's not for a lot of people.
But I don't know. I mean, Rob G, you could talk to it. Did Charles get pushback or like in comments or whatever? Oh, just stick to basketball. We don't want to hear about immigrants or whatever. Was there much of that? Because I didn't see it. Was it?
Of course there was. There's pushback in the chat right now.
Yeah.
This is not one of those conversations that people want to have in a nuanced manner. This is a black or white type of situation, and his decision to use his platform to weigh in on it ruffled a lot of people.
I thought he did it. I just thought it was the way he did it. And the conversation was just...
Well, it was a tie into sports too, Rob, because he didn't just go, let me tell you something real quick, and out the blue just say it.
No, it had something to do with...
They just did a whole story on a star player in the tournament whose team is now in the Final Four, and they...
It made sense.
Tied it in, and he came out and said that. So, I mean, it's not as if he just used the platform out of the blue.
Like, we saw the way that they choked down that double-digit lead. Well, let me tell you about Trump and ICE.
By the way, now to be fair, Charles probably would, in the sense that if there's a handful of people in America who have built up a reputation and an ability to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, it's Charles Barkley. He's made a career of that, talking about whenever, whatever, however, he can call women fat, them big old ladies down there in San Antonio. Like, he can get away with stuff.
But he apologized for that too.
Yeah, he did.
Like
and then went back to it. By the way,
no, but he did apologize. Yeah. Like there's certain things that you
ain't a lot of walking by that Riverwalk. Chuck is crazy. But yeah, he's one of those few who can get away and say and kind of do what he wants. And so, and the thing he would tell those folks, Rob G, he genuinely doesn't care. Like, yeah, you can't do that. You shouldn't say. He genuinely doesn't care.
Do you think he would care if he didn't have that much money?
Yeah. I think it's just certain people that's just Charles Barkley.
You can do and say whatever you want if your pockets are big enough.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people whose I would challenge that. I think there's a reason why some people get mad at Kevin Hart in his comedy, because he never says anything. Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart has all the money. I think he's looking at $400 million, something like that, $500 million. And I think it's actually people with a lot of money, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, people who they don't want to say nothing.
Well, Tom Brady has since kind of let you know where his allegiances lie without having to say it.
But I'm saying he ain't saying it. You get what I mean?
Right.
And my point is just simply that I think a lot of times the more money you get, you enjoy it, and people don't want to risk that. So I think Charles is just that's who he is. He's been like that since the 80s.
I agree. I agree. And that's the trade-off, or what people get bought. Like people talk about all the time. You get bought off.
Don't say nothing here.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing about that. You getting paid. Be quiet. Just
life's good.
Put your head there. Your life is good.
200 mil. Shut up.
Exactly. And everybody's not like that. I really could appreciate that, and from Mr. Charles Barkley today. So,
man, let me tell you something. All right, there you have it. Last call, 877-99 on Fox, 877-99 on Fox. We'll take a last call. If you hadn't had a chance to get through, this is your chance to do so. It is the Odd Couple on in Magic City Monday. Rob, Kelvin, your boy. Stick with us, Fox Sports Radio.
That's right. Matt Leinart said earlier this week on his podcast with Jerry Ferrara from Entourage, called The Throwback Show, that over the years, not under the Lincoln Riley era, but over the years since he's been out of football, the USC football program has approached him several times about having his number 11 jersey unretired to give it to a recruit. And Leinart, to his credit, said on his podcast, no. Hell no, I ain't doing that. More specifically, here's what he said. Absolutely effing not. I'm never going to unretire for some random dude who, by the way, now could wear number 11 and then transfer after a year. Said the only way I'd ever unretire my jersey at USC is for one of my sons if they happen to make it that far and they play ball for the Trojans.
All right, Matt Leinart did make a lot of great decisions in college, especially going back when he was going to be the number 1 overall pick. I still say that's the craziest.
You keep saying it.
Because I've never heard of anybody who was going to be the number 1 pick out of college who wanted to go back to college and then drop to, what did he go, 10th?
No, 10th, 11th,
11th, somewhere like that. The next year, which I just, like the number 1 pick, and you play your whole life and you're going to be the number 1 pick. You rolled the dice. You could have got hurt. So many different things could happen. But finally, Matt Leinart made the right decision. I'm not giving up my number. Once they retire your number, it should stay retired. There was a player for the New York Giants, right?
Oh, yeah, Carter. He wanted to get.
He wanted Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. Carter.
Like if I'm the Giants, do not make a quote for the paper. Do not ask for Lawrence Taylor's phone number. Like, can you stop? I don't care if you wore up 56 in high school or what. This is Lawrence Taylor of the New York Football Giants. Read the room. Matt Leinart, you say all you want. That was a machine, that team, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. No, Matt Leinart, I'm with him. Right? Some people have said it was the greatest team ever in college football. And he's supposed to give up his number to somebody who might stay for a couple of years, might be bouncing around, who might be 47 years old. I'm not doing it. I'm not messing up my legacy. I'm not giving my number out. And you could be like the Yankees. And guess what? Aaron Judge is wearing number 99 for a reason because they got a million numbers retired. Pick another number.
You know who I'm mad at in all of this? I'm mad at USC, Rob G. You just mentioned it. The idea that you allow someone to keep pressuring you, then you pressure Matt. Hey, Matt, how's the family? How's everything going? Hey, real quick, I was wondering if you give up your number again. We're asking again. That, to me, that's insulting to Matt Leinart and all that he did for that school. Matt Leinart had that school lit for about 3-4-year run. Obviously, you had the Carson Palmer before him. They kind of had a nice stretch there with Pete Carroll. But my point is, man, and that's part of the reason why, to Rob's always point, since I've been here, we've talked about it a handful of times, that's why he didn't want to leave. They were the singular football team in Los Angeles. He was already in the NFL. This is peak pre-social media, so you can still go to parties and wild out and not going to be on the phone and, somebody putting him out there, him and Reggie and Lindale White and all those people on those teams, they got to go hang out and be stars and rock stars in L.A. So that's why he was like, shoot, I am the L.A. Trojans. So he felt like he was in the league. And I just don't understand why they would even ask him, because you know what else it does, Robs, both of y'all? Every time you ask, it puts me on the spot to have to look like, quote unquote, a jerk or something, or an old head or a hater. And not that I'm saying everybody thinks that, because we all seem to be on the same page in agreement. But it's just you keep asking me, now I have to be that guy again. You know I'm not going to do that. I get the first ask if they felt the need. Hey, we got this great recruit. We're teetering on getting it between him coming here or going to Oklahoma. But, boy, if he said he can have that number 11, he would do it. Like, all right, I get the first ask. After that, what are we doing? Because now you're making me have to be the bad guy, perceptionally maybe for some people, repeatedly. So I'm mad more at the university for even asking him. He worked too hard to earn that respect. Clearly, it's not like he's going in the NFL Hall of Fame where he could say, maybe I'll just focus on that one more. So leave him alone and don't ask him again. He's absolutely right. And I'm to your last point you were saying, Rob, I'm kind of appalled that kids keep asking. It's one thing if you're the new guy on the team and you want to pay, hey, here's $50,000. I heard Rob Parker wears number 10. I want number 10. But you're a current player. Hey, Rob, here's $50,000. If you don't mind, I'll get your jersey. You say, all right, cool, I'll swap numbers with you, because you're playing actively, not someone who's a legend and retired.
But what's the point on retiring a number if you're going to issue it out again? And I do blame the schools and the same thing. Like numbers, they even know. Like even before Derek Jeter's number goes to Hall of Fame is going to be retired at Yankee Stadium.
You already know.
That the equipment manager takes that out of circulation. No, the new young shortstop can't have number 2. It ain't happening.
Are you into video games, celebrities, or just a good time? The Global Gaming League is a video game league with celebrity-owned teams from T-Pain to Neo, competing in everything from Call of Duty to Tetris. Sign up and join the league now at globalgamingleague.com.
Gracious. It is The Odd Couple. He's Rob. I'm Kelvin on a Magic City Monday. Got to say a big shout-out to Jimmy King. Joined us. Shout-out to D. Brown as well. Thanks to them for hanging out with us. Rob G will get that up on the podcast in a little bit. Are you into video games? What about celebrities or maybe just a good time? The Global League Gaming League is a video game league with celebrity-owned teams. You got T-Pain, you got Neo, and more competing in everything from Call of Duty to Tetris. So go sign up, join the league now at globalgamingleague.com. All right. It is now time for Last Call.
This is the Last Call. Let's go!
Last call time on the Odd Couple.
Whoop-de-damn do. Whoop-de-dang-do.
Whoop-de-damn-do.
Thank you, DC. It
That's
is
pretty funny.
Kevin in Culver City. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
You are the last caller here on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
God is good.
All the time.
What's happening?
Hey man, I'm with Rob. John, when you're a coach,
John Shire.
Yeah, John Shire. When you're yelling at your player, throw the ball, you're confusing him. Now, my number one rule is this. If you look at the NBA, when you get a ball in the hands like a Stephen Curry, a Kay Cunningham, a Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, when they get the ball, they hold it. They want you to foul them because they want to ice the game.
Thank you.
Now, when he dribbles the ball, he's inviting the defenders to him. So at that point, when you put the ball on the floor, you got to hold the ball because now you're giving them time to deflect the ball. If you're going to throw it, you got to throw it right away. He had a clear throw. But if you're not going to throw it and you're going to dribble, you got to hold that ball. He was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. They got the ball out of his brother's hands.
Thank
Who's
you.
the worst free throw shooter. Take the foul, shoot the free throws, and ice the game. They got to advance the ball to take a shot after that. What are you doing? If anything, you're running the clock out.
Terrible coaching, Kevin.
Terrible coaching.
Anybody who watches basketball, that coach was not there for those young players. He did not coach well. That's why they lost. Like, he can sit there, he goes, well, the game isn't about one play. The game wasn't about, yeah, of course you want to say that. Oh, yeah, you're right. You blew a 19-point lead and 15-point halftime lead. But, dude, if you do that right with 10 seconds to go, not 25, 24 seconds, where you have to make a play, right? 10 seconds with the ball, best free throw shooter, right? Hold the ball until they foul you. They're not going to let the clock run out,
right,
hoping that you go, right? What are you going to do?
Freshman panic. That's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
And by the way, not to rehash this kind of like the timeout with C-Webb. If you were there and you saw the tapes and all that, you had some players jumping up, screaming, timeout, timeout. He looks. That's why you see him freeze, look at the bench like, call it. And similarly, they're saying pass it. I think that's what happens when you have, again, you get freshmen out there. And again, if the coach told them to do it. I've said close. All I'm saying is that was a bad job. Like, UConn went and took the game from the whole second half.
No, but that play shouldn't happen. That's why they were 134-0. My point to you is I've sat close to the bench, and I've heard coaches tell the players going back into action. Under no circumstances should you shoot the ball. I remember being in Boston. The bad New Jersey Nets are playing the Larry Bird Celtics. Have the ball with the lead with less than 10, 15 seconds. Willis Reed looked straight at the team. Under no circumstance are you to shoot the ball. Okay? You're the coach. You're talking to him. Chris Morris was a forward. Gets an open lane. Of course, they let him. He goes to the basket. Misses a layup. Kevin McHale rebounds it. Timeout. Set up a play. Pass the ball to Larry Bird. Hits a shot. And they lost the game.
Oh, yeah.
And so people at home go, Willis Reed can't coach. No. They don't. I'm telling you, sometimes you have to, as a coach, be able to understand and let that kid, they should know, you don't need this.
I just think this is the challenge with the freshmen, right? And you out there, you
coach,
expect,
called coaching. It's
like if that
coaching.
was a veteran guard, they would know. Like you said, if you're the free throw guy, I'm holding the ball. They're going to foul me.
It's 10 seconds
what are we up?
left.
We're up 1.
Where are you going?
No, they're up 2. They're up 2. Go knock down a free throw or 2. You make 2. Game's over.
Game
You're up
is
4.
over.
So, yeah, I just think he saw the 2 guys down there. He tried to advance it. Great jump by Mullins to block it. When you talk about, by the way, back-to-back plays, Mullins blocks it, recovers it, gets it back, hits a 3. I mean, that was brilliant plays right there. That was all iconic. Rob G, are we going to later in the week do that, or should I just the idea of like some of the better March Madness big shots? Should we just throw some down?
We can do that.
I'm just saying, because I was in real time. I had just gotten back from church, rolled over, took a little Sunday nap, thought the game's over, rolled back over, but about, say, 3 minutes left. I'm like, oh, shoot, they made this a game. And I got to watch, the last little bit. My point is, I mean, now I watched that. I was like, this is so surreal because not only do you get the deflection, then you have to make the shot. It's one thing if you're up 1, you get the deflection, and the game's over. So I was like, man, where does this rank? Is this Leitner? Is this Tyus Etney going the full length of the floor? Bryce Drew?
Well, don't you think that this play, what it has going for it, is not just the shot, it's the whole sequence? Because Tyus Edney was him inbound coast to coast. Christian Leitner was inbound, him scoring. Uh-huh. This was the defensive play that led to the shot.
So get the ball back.
You got to take it all as one piece. If it's just the shot, then you had plenty of shots.
No, defensive play.
Also, if they don't win, like it doesn't. It's not the same. Like there's like a degree of it, and I'm not saying that you don't count it, but you're not thought of as much.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm really thinking.
Yeah.
Is there a big shot?
You still got
when Leitner hit the shot. They went on to win.
Yeah, so you remember. Sure. So you remember that, and you go like that was a part of their. It was the other one. I'll give you another one. When the Pistons won in 2004, right? And they
heave.
No. The block of Reggie Miller.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was huge.
So when you think about that, like what? Because I wrote a column that night for the Detroit News. And I said, if they get to the finals, you'll remember this play because
that was it. Reggie scores.
They were up 2-0, and the Pistons probably don't. You know what I mean? They'd have to win 4 of the next 5. 2 of those games would be in Indiana. Yeah. So that's why
that block was huge because he kept it in bounds too. It didn't go out of bounds.
It did, and Rip got it
in the corner. Then I was watching. I pulled my hair out back then, man. Great win.
It never grew back.
Yes.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon is coming up next.
I never miss your radio show. I never hear it, so I never miss it.
Did you hear that?